Hey guys, regarding Fringe, it was on Fox, I think it was 2008. So of course the scheduling or the programs that you guys were watching back then probably were not as good as Fringe maybe, but nevertheless Fringe was good for the first maybe 2-3 seasons. And then it got into some weird alternate universe stuff and it was kind of hard to follow. But nevertheless, it is a really good show. My wife and I loved it. Stick around for a couple of seasons, and then eventually it kind of goes off the deep end. But all in all, it is good quality TV for a while. Thanks.
Got something you want to say to the show? Send a voice message. Find it in the top left corner of the Tom Barnard app.
You know, the job that it took, the weight that was on my shoulders, having to actually bring smart listeners to this show. The pressure.
That was really good. I love that.
Yeah, that was great. That was wonderful.
Great job, Rudy. And who is that from?
Curtis.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Made that up, Curtis.
I'll look.
He just made it up. Like God. I could even tell you made it up.
Yeah.
That's how bad that was.
Well, it's Curtis.
Here,
Sure.
I got a call from Curtis.
Yeah.
That's who it was. I think Beelzebub called in right after that.
We got Beyonce after him.
Beyonce. Well, I'll be leaving during that segment.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Well, again, I'm bitter because they took away R&B and replaced it with that garbage, which pisses me off. I love R&B music. Always have. Just love it. And now the other thing that Brittany and I always talk about is the other thing I don't like. And a lot of people have been doing it for centuries, I'm sure. But almost everybody now slides into notes. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, they don't hit it.
No.
They don't go right to it. They're
No.
like, and then, like, whoa, bud. Yeah.
And I love you. Like, settle down, for Christ's sake. Look, I'm not saying they don't have any talent. Obviously, they're doing very, very well. Now, Beyonce, which one is that?
Beyonce is the one who's from Destiny's Child originally and married to Jay-Z.
Oh, that's the one that's married to Jay-Z. Okay.
Yes. And she was last night performing, and 90% of my social media friends went, and I had to watch from home.
She last night here in town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
She was on the. She was. They said she was in Dinkytown.
Really?
So she was at the stadium, I assume. That's
I
not
thought
really Dinkytown, though, is it?
I thought she was at U.S. Bank.
Oh, I thought it was the other one, Huntington Bank.
Where was she?
I don't know. I thought I heard. I don't know for sure, but would that still be considered Dinkytown? I mean, it's on the campus, I know, but
Yeah, it's still considered Dinkytown.
Is it?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
think so. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know where she was, but there were a lot of people lined up to go in, and as long as they're happy, and I'm just glad no one got shot. That's good. Whenever more than two people get together now, somebody always gets shot.
You're right, Huntington Bank.
It was Huntington Bank, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was U.S. Bank.
Formerly,
TCF Bank.
TCF.
there you go.
I've seen her at TCF Bank.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when I was my 30th birthday, she came
God, it
for my birthday.
It was 30 years ago?
Shut up.
Shut the
I will
front door.
kill you.
I will kill you, man. I made a huge mistake. I'm in a great mood on a Friday, and you guys are just horseshit and crabby.
I'm in a great
No,
mood.
you're not. You're crabby.
Oh my God, I had the best day yesterday.
Did you really?
Picked up my nephew Ike.
No. You're supposed to say, well, I was able to do this show.
I did. Wait, let me start over. Woke up, was
Okay.
blessed with you guys. Lori Kilmartin was in. That was a ball.
her. Love
Gelfman
her.
was in. That was a ball. Left here. Great mood. Picked up Ike. We went and saw some rescue Great Dane puppies.
Aw.
And then it's ice cream truck night, so we partied in the
Aw,
cul-de-sac.
Jesus.
I know, and then we biked to a park, and then we played video games until 10, and it was one of the best days I've had in a long time.
So I'm going to have one of those days today. I was
Yeah.
just telling her when we were out, just before the show started, it's going to be the first time in several months that I get to go home after the family podcast on a Friday. God, I'm excited.
That's so nice.
I'm going to sit around on my ass and just, maybe I'll start drinking again.
When you get home, just know that I've been home for an hour.
Yeah, but the great part of it is when I get home, you'll know because I'm going to call you after boozing it up and go, I've never liked you.
It'll go to voicemail.
You're not even going to bother. You know, I think it's been, 12 years, I think, since I boozed it up now.
I'm almost at 13.
Oh, you're 13?
13 this month, I think.
See?
Yeah, it'll be 2010 was when I quit drinking on the 25th, so I'll be 13 years.
But the thing, the upside of that, by the way, Rudy, you're not a big drinker either, are you?
I've recently slowed my roll a little bit when it comes to the booze. But yeah, for a long time, it was ebbs and flows. I would quit drinking, and then I would drink heavily, and then would go back and forth. So
there, yeah. Well, yeah, that's like everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody does it, no question about it. But it's, I look at it now as a very fortunate thing because I told you that guy that's about your age, what he said to me when I was talking to a friend of mine, and he stuck his nose in our business because he asked me a question about which way I lean politically. And I said, I'm pretty much a centrist. And he goes, oh, you're one of those. Oh.
You love that.
If Uncle Tommy had a few, that boy would be looking for teeth, I'll tell you that.
There's so many moments I'm like, for me personally, just because like, I'm really good at leaping tables and like.
Oh, I've seen it.
And like,
I do remember.
And like my mouth gets ahead of me. Like, so thank God I have just like that. I just need that extra beat to go. Is it worth it, Brittany?
Well, yes.
The answer is like just be chill. Just lean into your Botox and be chill.
So you didn't go last night because of Go-Go, or why didn't you go?
Well, I went to Taylor Swift, and so when the concert came up, and I love Beyonce, I went to her twice. I was kind of like, I don't know. I just felt like too much. It wasn't like, it just felt, and you could get pretty decent tickets, but just, I don't know, when I was planning out my life, I already felt like going to a concert just felt too close. I don't know why, being gone late at night, I don't know, and ended up being great because my sister went, and then I stole her kiddo Ike, and we just had a really fun day. So staying up late on a weekday, that's rough for me because that kind of sets the tone. Then I'd been tired today.
You don't even have to get up till 6. Staying up late.
Don't you think I wake up at 5 and just do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups,
Okay, let me see your phone. Let me see your workouts on your phone. No. Come on, let's
don't look at my activity level.
There it is. That's
see
3 miles of walking right there. So let me see your phone.
Mine is like
you
2
pain
steps.
in the ass. Oh, it's got 2 steps on it.
Look, my red line just started.
Oh no.
It's so bleak.
But I do not have a baby.
Whatever.
Babies are a big responsibility.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to give you credit for something.
I know, but I do sneak out of the house before she wakes up.
Yeah,
she wakes up
that's
like now,
that's
and so
good.
I literally wake up and do nothing. I like secretly brush my teeth. I don't even turn my electric toothbrush on. I just brush it quietly. Like I'm a prisoner in my own house. Feed the dogs like pebble by pebble of their food, so it doesn't make any noise, and then get out of the house.
I'm going to run this by you guys because it wasn't a lot of money, so it's not what I'm talking about. But I just dealt with a situation where 3 different outlets that should be very reputable tried to screw me out of money. It was not a ton of money. It was a few $1,000s, which is a lot of money, but not a ton.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
What is? I mean, and I had to call on, specialists to go get it and all that stuff. I haven't gotten it back yet, but I'm going to get it back. I was double billed on 3 different things. So be careful. The only reason I bring it up is a lot of people are double billing now, man, and I don't know why they're doing it. It's got to be illegal to do it, I would think.
I feel like one of you got to take the helm. You can't both be paying bills.
Well, no, I mean, that's not even the issue. It's they know better than the double bill people.
Agreed. They are the ones in the wrong. I shouldn't be victim blaming. I agree. But I just mean like for continuity for you guys, I feel like.
Yeah, I understand.
One of them was like a service for a big company, right? So it wasn't.
2 of them were. 2 out of the 3.
Okay.
So basically, I learned a lot. And I have good friends that take care of that situation for me. And I never would have known about it until he noticed it. Because it's what you said, basically. Did Catherine pay that? Did I pay this?
Yeah.
Did we both pay, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That kind of deal. So you're right. We should pay closer attention.
But it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
No. They had to know.
Yeah. I mean, they sure know when you don't pay.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Well, there's another one right there. One of the bills was I prepaid the next month, and then I got a letter from them saying I didn't pay the last month before that. So I double paid for, I think it was May and June, something like that.
Yeah.
So I paid June in May. I paid May in May and June in May, but I still got a letter saying I hadn't paid May.
Dang-a-lang.
How do they not know that?
Yeah.
Right? They got to know that, do they not?
Well, no. I mean, we all know how inept people are at their jobs.
We're in radio. Of course we know.
Felt like that was an attack on me.
No.
On Brittany personally.
No.
But anyway, here's the reason I even brought it up, because I want to ask you guys this. Since that happened, and it's been taken care of, so it's not a big deal. But it does make me very sad that human beings are that filthy about money, and it's so apparent now. The money grubbing in this world, oh my God, you pigs.
Yeah.
But I have been waking up every morning right at 3 o'clock, and I don't know why right at 3 o'clock.
Oh, man.
I have no idea. I've been doing it for like a week now since I found out about this. I wake up every day at 3 o'clock.
Anxiety.
It is anxiety.
Yeah.
But why right at 3 o'clock? That's weird.
Once your body has done it a couple of times, it gets used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably true.
Terrible.
Yeah, I got up at 3 this morning. That's why I was able to get a few miles in, almost 4 miles in this
You
morning.
almost close your activity ring.
Or your mouth when I'm talking.
That'll never happen.
That's not going to happen. Exactly. Okay, what now?
I was going to say is, do you have to pee or anything?
One thing, and Rudy should understand this better than anybody here. Once you get into to my sphere, you're going to do that a couple of times a night, and it gets really old.
I still have to pee all the time. All the time.
After having a baby?
Just in general. Like, I've always been that way.
Oh, you have? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
I drink way too much water, but I
Yeah,
like...
that's a big part of it.
Here's, like, the least amount of water I drink. But then throughout the day, I'm like... I feel like I always have to pee.
Glug, glug.
Yeah. I feel like diapers would not be a bad investment.
You have to pee right now?
No.
Who was it? The one that there was a big Hollywood star that wore diapers all the time for that big reason. I can't remember who it was though.
No.
They actually revealed, I believe, it was on like the Johnny Carson show or one of those that. Oh yeah, I wear diapers all the time, so I don't have to run to the bathroom all the time.
That's disgusting.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Listen, I get if you're at the Super Bowl, but if you're just like
Right,
heading on down to the grocery store, no dice.
That's disgusting.
What do you guys remember what age
funny,
you
though.
stopped wearing diapers?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh, no. What?
Because the reason why I ask is because there's a neighbor, and it's kind of weird, obviously, but he's 7
Nope.
and still wears them.
You think there's a problem? There's something else going on?
Well, because his dad, how I know this is he came running outside the other day and he had it on.
Oh.
And then his dad was like, "Hey, get back in!" And then his dad was like, "Hey, so probably saw my kid in the diaper." It's just his thing. He likes it. He doesn't. It's not that he needs it. He just wants to wear it all the time. And the joke I made was, man, when you started in diapers, it used to say Sesame Street. Those diapers say CSI Miami. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time for him to get out of those things, man.
Do you think it's a night only thing?
I think it's his thing. It's a comfort. It's a blankie. It's it's having that thing that is comforting to him, and wearing that is probably his protective shield at the moment. But yeah, he's like, he likes them and he still fits in them, so we just buy them.
I do have to admit, it's really easy to I automatically mom shamed Kirk Cousins when his kid still had a pacifier.
Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering what your thoughts are on that.
It was like 5, 6.
Yeah, he's definitely old enough to be reading. Like he's sitting up in the chair reading with dad,
Yeah.
and has a pacifier in his mouth.
Wait. Kirk Cousins knows how to read?
It was impressive.
I'm shocked.
It was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it was a children's book, so
So that's different. Now, I don't know why you would do that. That's not a good idea, I wouldn't think. But you have to remember now, Bobby Knotts, my friend, who unfortunately died at like 35, or a pain in the ass that he was. I adored that man.
Yeah.
But he insisted, and he was absolutely adamant about it until he was about 16 years old, that when he was born, he came out with a cane and a top hat. And he actually believed that when he was a little kid.
wow.
It's like, what?
So did he like to rock one all the time?
I don't know. He's got the cane and the top hat. Hey, here I come,
Hello,
Mom.
my honey. Hello, my baby.
There's nothing more classic than just baby diaper. Diaper baby classic is the look. What's the look we rock a lot in the house? Like, not me, but Go-Go.
Can you imagine the pain? And some people, I guess, still do it, but can you imagine the pain in the ass of having to wash those damn things because they were cloth?
No.
I think about it all the time. I think about it all, and then I think sometimes I will go, oh, I can't believe how much we probably just sit in like garbage areas or whatever, because like we go through so many diapers.
Little poop stain action.
Ugh. Yeah.
Ooh.
And then they rooster tail up the back, and you're like, oh.
Rooster tail up the back. We have to do some weather here, ladies and gentlemen. Isolated chance of an afternoon thunderstorm today and Saturday. Then it's all about the heat on Sunday and next week. It'll be the hottest week of the summer so far, but it always is, isn't it? Isn't the 4th week of July always the hottest week of the summer?
I think so.
Yeah.
I thought. Warmer and partly sunny, isolated afternoon thunderstorm is possible, but isolated. 83 for the high. Tonight clearing early with a low of 63. On Saturday, warmer, more humid with an afternoon or an evening thunderstorm possible, a high of 86. That's what you want is 86 and humid. But then she jacks up. On Sunday, 88 and sunny. On Monday, 91 and sunny and humid. On Tuesday, 94, hot and humid. On Wednesday, 98, even hotter and sunny. And Thursday, so, 7 days from now, basically, sunny, still hot and humid with a high of 97. So 97, 98, 94, 91, 88. And, of course, 83 today is the low for the next 7 days. The lowest high, I should say. It's a good way to put it. Right now, though, it's sunny and 60 degrees. Well, let me check that, make sure. It's 61 now. So it's going to be toasty, but that's why you have air conditioning, isn't it?
Yeah. I kind of like, I know this is not everybody's jam, but I love a reason to go, water things out or go sit by the lake or whatever.
Well, not the worst idea.
No.
That's why, to tell you the truth, growing up in Minneapolis, St. Paul, man, I don't care if it's Lake Como or it's Lake, whatever, Harriet.
What's that one that's next to Theo that has the really pretty beach?
Theodore Worth.
But is that the lake?
The lake is also called Theodore
Worth. Oh,
Yep.
nice. Did you ever swim in that?
Oh, yeah, many times when I was a kid.
It's a great area.
That's weird that you asked that.
Why?
Because we could tie it in.
Yes.
2 stories tied together. Boy, your timing was wonderful.
Thank you.
I used to go with Brad Roden was his name, R-O-D-E-N. Brad Roden and I would go swimming down at, maybe I only did it with him a couple of times. Other people, we'd just go with friends down there. Nice beach house, all the rest of it. But I do remember one time, and this ties into the earlier reference, I opened up a locker to use it, and there was some grown-up underwear with a poop stain in it.
Oh. Yeah.
So there you
Those
go.
were left forever. Like, that person was like, these are dead to me.
But here's what I love. Somebody else can get rid of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the shame was the key there.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just wrap it up and get rid of it rather than leave it in the locker?
Listen, I have no shame. Like,
Well,
I would
there
be
is
carrying that in here and be like, that's my fault. But, like,
That's a very good point.
Some people are shame takes them to places that they would never go. Like, that normally could be the most considerate person, but that shame aspect, ooh, zooey mama.
It was, by the way, what they used to refer to as a skid mark.
True that.
That skid mark underwear, that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just throw them away, for Christ's sake. Why do I have to look at them?
Well, I mean...
I still used the locker, but no, I didn't. I did not.
Just move them aside a little.
I grabbed them right by the... Yeah, no thank you. We should probably take a break because we got a bunch of stuff coming up, some great stuff coming up this morning. I mean, Sansevere is not one of the great things coming up, but, let me put it this way. A lot of great stuff and Sansevere. Right?
Yes. Perfect.
All right, be right back on MyPillow's 20-year anniversary with over 80 million MyPillow sold. Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank each and every one of you by giving you the lowest price in history on their MyPillows. Queen-size MyPillow's regular price is $69.98, now only $19.98, and $10 more for king-size. Just $10 more. MyPillow's patented fill adjusts to your exact level. Individual needs. That's what they're talking about here. To help you get the best sleep ever. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to get Mike's amazing. See, they threw that in for us. Radio podcast square, huh? Thank you. It's probably Dawn that did that. That's what I'm thinking. To get Mike's amazing offer on the queen-size MyPillow for only $19.98, enter promo code TOM. In addition to the special anniversary offer on the MyPillows, you will also receive deep discounts on all MyPillow products such as bed sheets, mattress toppers, pet beds, mattresses, My Slippers, and so much more. Take advantage of the biggest sale in MyPillow history. Go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code TOM to take advantage of Mike's special offer on his MyPillow. That's MyPillow.com, promo code TOM.
This is Bob Sansevere, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you. Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:23 now, 23 minutes after 7 o'clock. Right here at the morning show, and we're going to have a vote on something in a second here. Is Bob not on yet?
I'm here.
No, he's there. Yep.
Oh, well, what happened now? Now you get a different logo.
Well, because I'm on a remote location.
Oh,
I'm at
that's
the
what
Wright
it is.
County Fair with my children showing their horses.
So you're on a remote.
I'm on my phone, not my computer, because my computer it didn't quite work as well as it would as it does through this phone. So
Whatever works. As long, yeah, okay. So I was just wondering why your little smoke signal wasn't on the screen. So, but your
well,
remote.
I mean, I could probably actually put the camera, but the way I'm holding my phone so you can hear me better, you see the ceiling of my trailer.
That'd be really great.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So I figured you don't get to see nothing. Now, I got a question for you, if I may ask, for all three of you.
Forget it. I got to introduce you first.
Oh, okay.
Bob Sansevere Sports is brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyer seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That is MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. And now Bob Sansevere with a bit of wisdom for us.
Well, a question. What is the fastest or the most you've ever gone over the speed limit? Like if it's a 55, maybe I've gone 70, 75.
It's not 85 over. I know that, Bob.
No, it's not. I assume you've talked about that about
yet.
young Jordan Addison.
What a moron that man must be.
Okay, Tom, let's count the ways he's a moron. And he seems like he's a nice kid from you listen to him. However,
Good for him.
he showed up at the draft with the now you do a one that's not it's just a one, he's a young kid, blah blah blah. He had the suit jacket with the dollar bill signs in the lining.
Oh
right?
no.
He goes 140 miles an hour. The speed limit is 55, 3 o'clock in the morning. Now we know he obviously, when he got his rookie deal, he decided to put money away for a rainy day so he can drive his Lamborghini Ursus 140 miles an hour in a 55. But also, Chuck Foreman was telling me, and this is a problem with all these young guys, because it's not only Chuck, or it's not only Jordan Addison. Getting interviewed. Chuck is from the same hometown, or Addison is, as Chuck is.
Okay.
Right? Frederick, Maryland. There's a park in Frederick named after Chuck. The interviewer asked him about growing up in the same town as Chuck Foreman.
Oh, no.
Chuck said if you saw the blank look on his face, he had no idea who I was. And it's not just him. Great kid, Blake Prohl. He's on the, he's been on the practice squad. Third year with the team. He was on the Jim Bob Sports Jam with us a week ago because he sang at the Fine Line. He's got a great voice.
Okay.
Nice kid, good family, smart kid. He had no idea who Chuck was. And I told him, why don't you look up in the Ring of Honor? You'll see his name.
Yeah.
And then later, I said, well, when Chuck played, he had Fran Tarkenton throwing to him. Blank look. I said, you don't know who Fran Tarkenton is, do you? He didn't. This is the Vikings' fault. You bring a kid in, you have a seminar, and maybe some of these players to let them know or give them a quiz. Figure out and find out who the stars in your history of your franchise are. Because, frankly, it's embarrassing for them to go out in public and not know.
Bob, I will tell you this, and Brittany and I were just talking about this before the start of the show this morning. I'm sorry, but social media and the internet, not just social media, but the entire internet, is making people dumber by the day. They don't care to look up anything. And if I see one more person about 20 years old walking down the hall, not looking where they're going, just staring at their phone, I'm like, do you know how easy it would be to rob somebody like you? I mean, seriously, it'd be simple.
No, because it's almost like there's a beacon on some of these people. They're walking around, they're on their phone, they're not doing anything.
Yep.
And yeah, absolutely. You know what we should do, Tom? We should follow all of these Viking players, the young ones, and put them all in a string and create Bill Bradisman Hall of Fame tackle for the Minnesota Vikings and him saying hello, and they will believe. So who do you know from the Vikings past? Well, Bill Bradisman's in the Hall of Fame. He's a tackle. Because they don't have a clue.
But, Bob, isn't Fran Tarkenton in the Hall of Fame?
He is. Yes, he is.
And he doesn't even know who he is.
Okay. Now, this was Blake. Again, he's a great kid. His dad played 17 years in the NFL. You'd think his dad was Ricky Prohl. You remember Ricky Prohl?
Sure.
You would think that a kid that grew up around football would have some sense of the history, but he is not alone, nor is Jordan Addison.
No.
Addison may be alone going as fast as he does, but these guys don't know the history of the NFL or who they play, who you're playing for. Come on.
Bob, what time of day was it when he was doing $1.30 or whatever the hell it was?
3 a.m.
$1.40. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. So where are you going at 140 miles an hour at 3 o'clock in the morning?
You got your Lamborghini Ursus, and you're going to go. It doesn't matter where you're going. He was on I-94 out near where the Vikings are. And the freeway just outside St. Paul is what. So we're probably figuring he's around Egan. Well, you know what? He was probably on his way to be the first kid in the facility. He wanted to beat all the coaches there at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. I better do 140 miles an hour down there.
If you're a cop, how do you pull over somebody going 140? I don't think they go 140, do they? A cop car?
No, they don't like that chase deal anymore for cops.
Yeah, well, and he was not arrested. He was, but if he gets cited, which he probably will.
I would hope so.
You go in excess of 100 miles an hour, you can have your license revoked for at least 6 months.
Or at least you get a slap on the wrist.
Well, something. He may be taking Ubers around town for the next 6 months. He should be.
Well, didn't Randy Moss run over a police officer
Just
downtown?
Slowly.
And
He didn't run him over, but he ran into him.
yeah,
Or her.
Her. It was a
woman,
female. Yeah.
It was a woman. That's
It was
right.
it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
He was nudging her with the car, and I think he had to pay a few bucks on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, God. These are not the brightest people on earth. I'm
No.
sorry. These athletes, holy Christ.
No, and by the way, Jordan, I hope you bought yourself something else, because that Lamborghini, you're not going 140 in January when the roads are slick.
Now, how much is that car, Bob? Does anybody know how much that car would cost?
Oh, it's got to be in the 300,000s.
That's what
right?
I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I about $300,000.
Yeah.
Any idea, Bob?
You know what, Tom? I'm going to look that one up because I'm curious now that you mentioned it.
It's a
I should
Lamborghini
have had
what?
it at my fingertips, but I did not.
That's all right. I'll just carry you like I've always done. Thank you very much.
Not
Great.
a problem. Like you said, you've been doing all right here. Oh, the base. Here's the base price. $223,990. But no,
So about $300.
No, that's used. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I can only find used ones.
Yeah. And plus, if you got some bells and whistles on it, you're probably
yeah.
looking at about 300,000.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Well, now,
cripes.
$235 is the base price for a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about $300.
Yeah.
If you get a good one.
Well, wait a minute. Oh, he may be okay, Tom. A high-performance SUV with actual off-road cred.
Oh, it's an
Decadent interior.
SUV? Oh, I assumed it was a sports car. It's an SUV.
Hey, he made that the right thing. Okay, this does not look like an SUV.
No.
They may call it that, but there's no freaking way.
No freaking way.
Well, I told you about my Mustang, didn't I, Bob? They had to recall the first ones
Why?
because people were doing like almost 200 miles an hour in them.
Oh my God!
I mean, they're
All right,
incredibly fast.
Tom, I have to give it to Jordan Addison. He was showing restraint.
Yes.
Car and Driver called it the quickest SUV we've ever lapped at Virginia International Speedway.
Yeah.
But it can go 190.
Yeah. Oh, they can now. 190, 200. Yep.
And it's significantly quick. It has the 0 to 60 mile per hour acceleration time significantly, not just quicker, significantly quicker than competitors like the Audi RS-Q8 and the Bentley Bentayga.
Oh, okay.
It is called an SUV. My God.
When are we going to see this where somebody goes ahead and sues Lamborghini or Mustang for the ability to go that fast, that smoothly?
Yeah.
I agree.
So, and also Lamborghini Urus is powerful, versatile, perfect for daily driving.
Of course.
Yeah, at 3 a.m. when you're doing 140 miles an hour.
So the kid's smart. He looked into it, found he had himself a nice winter car. Oh my God! I'm not sure, but I think I was in a car. The fastest that I've ever gone, not driving, but riding in a car, was about $1.15. So 25 miles an hour faster than that.
Yeah.
My God, that's moving.
That's pushing it. Holy cow!
It is, no doubt about it. You guys ever been in a fast-moving vehicle?
I think we
No.
got my 1987 Toyota Corolla up to
Sure.
about 78 miles an hour on Highway 2 because that thing is as straight as an arrow. So,
There you go.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know, maybe 100 was probably top
Probably
out.
100. Yeah, it's usually about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like I've been in somebody's car that's gone 100, and I don't
Yep.
think I enjoyed it.
No, it's not fun. I agree. Because if you make one little mistake, you got problems.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I will say this: when not driving on like a stretch of 35 or 94, that can get up to 80 real quick, and you don't even notice it.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
not 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, by my house, it's like either 65 or 70 on 212, and then it shoots down to 60 real quick. So Brittany has gotten a ticket in that area.
No.
I have gotten a ticket in that area.
How is that even
You didn't bat
possible?
your eyes and give them a smile and unbutton the top shirt. The top
Oh, well.
Well, you know, I wear a lot of like easily attractive tops, but no, I get real weird when I get pulled over. I get real yes sir, no sir, and like everything you want because
Right. That's smart.
well, yeah, and like I am in my past life a real problem child, so I just want to be like. I just want to like confess them everything. I get weird. I say thank you very much when they give me the ticket.
Is that a military thing, you think?
Yes, and then
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
bet.
Always
I bet.
thank you for serving. I don't care if they give it to you the ticket or not. I always say thank you for serving.
Guilt them.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
okay.
I don't care. I'm just like, listen, I am not on any drugs. I know I'm acting weird right now, but like, take my blood.
Brittany, you need to have your veteran's card, and you hand it to. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was my license.
You want to know the
Also-
hack? You want to know the real hack you got to do?
What?
So if you hand them your VA card, they go, this, I do not need this, and they get real mad, annoyed.
Oh, do they?
So what you do, this is a real good trick. You actually go get your license picture taken in uniform because you can do that.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
With the hat and everything? Or do you have
Oh
to take the
yeah,
hat
well
off?
I think you have to take the hat off,
You
but
do
like
probably, yeah.
that's the way you do it because then you're like, oh yeah, I had to run to the DMV in uniform. It's fine, and they'll and that's the way. That's the real move.
How about if I, get my picture taken with a disabled older woman?
You just add another
Just kinda
person.
carrying her in the picture.
And puppies or
Puppies, yeah, like some puppies.
I mean,
in there.
I obviously can't do that now because I've been out for a long time, not wearing my uniform. But that was the big thing that the guys I was
Okay.
deployed with
I
would
love
do.
it. Love it.
Brittany, if he says, where you going so fast? Well, I'm a little late to serve Meals on Wheels to veterans.
See?
So I hate when they miss out.
Oh.
The other tip, if you want, because women wear pullovers and sweatshirts sometimes, always carry a heavy-duty scissor to cut a slit right down the middle.
Nobody cares about my chest. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sure it works for some people, but at some point, like, The bra I'm wearing is like a glorified turtleneck. Okay, there's nothing going on here, Bob. No scissors is gonna help me.
You'd be surprised.
I would. You would.
A scissor?
Just cutting into your. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna love if you grab for a scissors when you get pulled over.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be a good move. No question
Or
about it.
just yank one out.
Oh, that does not sound appropriate around an officer. Thank you very much.
I will tell you this,
Depends on the
Bob.
officer.
I wish you could see Brittany today because she has
I can.
Oh, you could see her? Okay, show him your
yeah.
shirt. You got to show him your shirt.
I have like a shirt that looks like.
Your hair's still covering it all up. There, now you get that. There, now we're talking. Now stand up and do it.
Oh, are those horseshoes?
Look
No,
at that.
it's like a drippy shirt, and I spilled a bunch of coffee on me. You can't even tell.
But you can't tell.
So that's now the move.
So it's like Sid Hartman's tie would be.
Yes.
Yes,
He
exactly.
spilled something on it in the 40s and never had it clean.
I literally spilled, and I was like, "Oh man!" I looked down. I go, "No, this works. All right."
It's like those dirty undies that Tom found in the
Yeah.
locker. Yeah, I spilled coffee back there, hon. Yeah.
It's weird. I lived by there, so maybe were those
Theater Worth?
mine? Yeah, I lived by Theo.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I lived in Bryn Mawr.
Oh, that's
Golden
right. That's
and
right.
Golden Valley.
That's
I lived
right,
on
yeah.
both sides of it.
That's true. I forgot all about that. That's true. The old hometown, the north side. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I loved Theo Worth was my favorite.
Well, it's phenomenal. I love Theater Worth. Those hills, riding a bike around Theater Worth is fantastic.
I know. I would always, and then you'd watch golfers, and I'd always
Yep.
do my, "How's it going?" Because like I don't know what to say to golfers, so I would practice. "Hey, how's it going? How the greens?"
I wish they still had the. You guys even know about the Bronze Open? You probably don't. It was very cool when I was a little kid, because the Bronze Open was a tournament for Black Americans. But they don't have the
They
tournament
called
anymore.
it the Bronze Open.
They call it the Bronze Open. It was very, very cool. But my favorite memory of the Bronze Open, there was a guy that played the Bronze Open, and there was this kind of hubbub in the parking lot. You know, the big parking lot right there in front of the chateau still is gorgeous. by the way.
Yes,
Beautiful
gorgeous.
building. It's a beautiful building. But I'm walking along, and I'm, I don't know, 11, 12 years old. Maybe not even that old. I don't even remember. But the guy's putting his clubs in the trunk. And there are still people on the golf course. This is at the Bronze Open tournament. I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "Man, I won the tournament." I said, "Really? What'd you shoot?" He said, "Well." I said, "Well, what'd you shoot?" He goes, 66. I said, "Really? Well, why are you leaving?" He goes, "Because they don't believe me."
Oh dang!
I love that. That is, yeah, he shoots a 66 and goes, everybody's like, "Bullshit, you didn't shoot a 66.
I love that area, but I'll tell you this. I was biking once at night, and I was biking through there, and I was like kind of on high alert because, you know, it's night and you're in the city and whatever.
Sure.
All of a sudden I screamed because there's all these people standing there, and it was those statues.
Oh, yeah.
Those statues
Oh, yeah.
scared the hell out of
love
me.
those statues.
Seen them a million times in the day, but at night, all of a sudden, your peripheral, I'm like, oh my God, why are there so many people out?
Well, it's Theater Worth, isn't it? It's the guy.
Yeah, but there's like
statue of
a
him.
few of them.
Yeah, there are. Yep. No, to this day, one of the things that you guys missed out on with Theater Worth, which is too bad,
Yeah.
in the golf course, that hole as you go straight north out of the clubhouse, take a left, you come out the front of the clubhouse, take a left, and there's a hole there that goes right uphill.
Yeah.
There used to be a ski jump on that hill,
Oh, really?
at the top of it.
I can see that.
Uncle Tommy's riding along with the Laurent brothers one day, and I said, "What the hell's that all about?" Now, that was back in the day when ski jumps used to be built out of wood.
Yeah.
That bad boy was on fire, man. Somebody burned it to the ground.
What did the ski jump do to you?
Oh, it's just to be a prick. That's why
I
they did it.
know.
There's no doubt about it. It was never rebuilt either. They never rebuilt it.
Not a big time golfer, but that's a fun 9 holes.
That's what I've never played it. Isn't that
that's
weird?
shocking to me. I've played it.
I've never played Theater Worth.
I've played it like in the middle. It's super fun.
It's very crowded though, isn't it? Used to be anyway.
I don't know. I feel like I went in the middle of the day and it wasn't bad, but
Nice people. They're very nice people.
it was a blast.
Yep.
I had never been there before, and I made an appointment, a tee time at the, they have a par 3 over there.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
was
I did play that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to play the par 3. So I got there and didn't realize that there was also like another 18 holes that was
Yeah.
connected to it.
Yep.
So when I got to the clubhouse, I'm like, It's a pretty sweet clubhouse for a par 3. Like, so I go in and I ask the lady, I'm like, hey, I got a tee time. She goes, what time? I said 8:15. She goes, okay, yeah, you're good to go. So I go out to the tee box and
go to
to hole 1 of the 18 holes, and they go, hey, why don't you golf with this guy? He's also a single. So we tee off and we start walking down the fairway, and I go, wow, this is a really long hole for a par 3. And the guy goes, oh, this is a par 4. And I'm like, huh. He goes over to his ball. I grab my phone. I look. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm on the wrong golf course. The par 3 costs like $12 to play.
Yeah.
The 18 holes is like $87. And I'm like, well, I'm already here. So I just golfed the 18.
You criminal.
I swear to God, I
Criminal.
golfed the 18.
Well, okay, here's how I just thought of it. This is why I've rationalized it. That one guy is going to be doing it anyways.
Yeah.
If you were by yourself and holding people up, I could see step off.
Sure.
But if that guy was going to be by himself anyways and taking up that time,
Yeah, whatever.
I don't think you're a time thief then. So
No. Yeah.
maybe drop a little bit, your extra 20 to somebody.
Yeah.
Rudy, what you did was worse than what Jordan Addison did.
Easily true.
Well, here's the thing. I golfed the front 9 and felt bad and left, and I was like, I should go back there. And then I went back because I did feel bad, and I golfed the back 9 because that's what you do. Because that's, as a person, you make things right, okay?
And, of course, you paid for that 9.
No, but I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I made it right by golfing the back 9.
Oh, okay.
Even it out. Yeah, so
They
we appreciate
benefited
it.
greatly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see. One thing I should tell you, and I was very proud of my wife and her family. They had a celebration a few years ago. It was like an anniversary celebration or whatever it was, and they booked it. This is probably 5 years ago, something like that. They booked it at Theater Worth. There's a huge upstairs area in that gorgeous clubhouse. And by the way, the chow there is good.
Is it good?
Yeah, the food at Theater, at least it used to be. I haven't eaten there in a few years now, but it used to be really good, and I assume it still is. But I was so happy that, because most people are going, oh my God, it's just at the end of Plymouth Avenue in North Minneapolis. Oh my, but you're fine at Theater Worth.
Sure.
But I was proud of them. They kind of tip of the cap to Uncle Tommy. Wasn't that nice?
I think that's really fun. I mean, it's such a fun place. You just
It is.
and it's like hopping. Go there on a Saturday afternoon.
That's what I hear,
It
yeah.
is crazy
Yeah.
busy. It's so fun.
Well, Rudy's got to play another 18 holes for $1.50.
You know me there.
They know you
Rudy's
now.
going,
exactly.
is somebody here looking for a single? A single?
Yeah. Sandy, you got one more minute. Anything else you want to talk about, Buster?
Twins lose 5-0 to the 2 games up, but there is the breaking news. I think Joe is the one, our pal Joe is the one who sent it to me, and it is true. Did you? It only happened the last 15 to 20 minutes. Tony Bennett, no more.
Oh, no. I love Tony Bennett.
He had a run, though, 96.
Yeah, 96. I saw him at Mystic Lake a couple of years ago. Matter of fact, I think Pat Ebert's got me the tickets. Catherine and I went to see Tony Bennett. We were in like the front row, probably 15 feet away from Tony Bennett. He, at the time, was probably like 91, 92, something like that. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I might have been a little older, because that was only a couple of years ago. He was moving around, shuffling his feet, doing a little dancing, snapping his fingers. I'm like, this guy's like 93 years old. He was phenomenal, Bob, at 93.
Tom, I don't remember any singer, crooner, whatever you want to say, that was as put together as he was.
I
The
agree.
hair was perfect.
Yep.
He was kind of the George Hamilton of singers. You talk about bronze. He always had that bronze color going.
He did.
Handsome fella.
Oh, Bob, that breaks my heart. I obviously, it doesn't surprise me. He's 96 years old, but my God,
Yeah.
my mother loved him, and I just thought he was a tremendous talent.
He was a contemporary of the younger a little bit, but of Sinatra and Dean Martin, right?
Oh,
but he
yes.
never was part of that crowd.
No,
Too young?
I just think he didn't. He was not a part of any crowd. That I can remember. You're right. The Rat Pack thing didn't work for him, I guess. I don't know, but
Yeah.
just oh my God, that makes me sad. But yeah, had a hell of a run, right?
Sorry to break it to you. Where's the greatest whatever been? Is she gone today?
The greatest what?
Oh,
Kristyn's here.
Yeah, we're not going to her until after the break, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, she's the best that ever was. Kristyn, I know you'll give him a hell of an update. I think she can give you the entire life story of Tony Bennett.
Oh, God.
Well, we'll ask her.
Introing her like Bret Hart. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
But like more monotone for Bob. Yeah, she's the best there ever was. You're gonna want to listen to her. Here's a task she can do feverishly really quickly since he just died.
Do you think it's a coincidence that the death of an Italian guy was announced by an Italian guy? You think that's a coincidence?
There you go.
It's fitting.
Very fitting, Bob. There's no question. All right, Sandy, we'll have a magnificent day, sir.
You too. See you guys later.
Bob Sansevere Sports. Bye.
Bye.
Could I get the line out? Is that a possibility? I'm getting used to that. You talking over me all the time now. So, yeah, there you go. Bob Sansevere Sports. I love picking on you. It's wonderful. Bob Sansevere Sports, sponsored by Bradshaw and Bryant Personal Injury Lawyers. Sanny, brought to you by Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the line, Doug Sprinthal, live, the new GM from Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin, home of my new EV Ford Mustang, online at flagshipford.com. You're not the GM there, are you? Did they make that mistake?
No, everybody salutes when I walk in. It's awesome.
God, what a swing and a miss that must have been.
I got to ask Rudy a quick question. Is it really $85 to play 18 holes at Worth now?
I don't think it's that much. I mean, exaggerate. Listen, Doug, don't let the truth stand in the way of a good story, okay?
Yes.
I may have exaggerated a little bit, but
good advice.
I do believe it's like in the 60s, though. It's much more expensive than their par 3, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I used to play there all the time in the 80s with one of my brother-in-laws. And, you know, the second hole, if you remember, the first hole and the second hole, there's a creek that goes in front of the green on the first and in front of the tee box on the second. Mm-hmm. On the second hole, there was this young black kid that made a lot of money out there, and he would fish out balls that guys hacked into the water, and he'd sell the white ones for a nickel. But the colored ones, like the yellow ones or the range balls that had stripes on them, those were a quarter. So the title was for 5 cents a piece. And so, you know, maybe I'll buy one of those yellow ones someday from you when I get that kind of yellow ball money.
Now, Dougie,
it's a cool course.
I've never played it. I played the par 3 a lot, but I did have an experience on the full 18 holes. I was walking along and just happened to glance down into that beautiful creek. It's called Bassett's Creek right there, right?
Okay. I didn't know that, but okay.
And there was a dead hooker in there, had been murdered and thrown in the creek.
Well, it is close to the end of Plymouth Avenue.
Well, it is. It is at the end of Plymouth Avenue, as a matter of fact. Over that bridge is Plymouth Avenue, baby. But, yeah, I'll never forget that. And then it was a huge news story. I do remember that. It was a huge news story.
That had to be I think I remember that, but that was 30 years ago?
Oh, at least. Probably longer than that. That might have been more like 40 years ago.
Tom, you know what's scary? We're getting kind of old.
Yeah, when you remember stuff from 30 years ago, boy, you got to be ancient for that. Like 35-year-olds would never remember something from 30 years ago.
Never.
Never.
Not dead hookers, anyway. So that's good.
When we, Theo Worth, or the Bryn Mawr Park, I walked every single day.
Love that park.
Sometimes 2 times, because, you know, why not? I would get done with the morning show, do one in the morning and one at night. We went to the Keys for the
Keys
morning
Cafe.
show. No. We went to the
you mean
Florida Keys.
Florida Keys, okay.
Yeah, and
Key West.
Yeah, Key West. And while I was gone, on my exact path, somebody found a dead body, and that could have been me. And I was like, you know what? Because I always pick up trash there. Like, I felt like I should have been the one to find that.
A dead body in North Minneapolis. Who ever heard of it?
It's fine.
Fine.
I don't remember the details, so I'm kind of detached from it, but that was my same path. And even the officer was like, oh, don't you always walk your dogs here? And I was like, yes.
Oh, God, Brittany, you came that close, huh?
Robot would have found it probably. So
yeah, probably. That's very, very.
No, that's you got to realize how beautiful Minneapolis and St. Paul and all those parks and stuff, and that's from over 100 years ago. And it's sad to think that if they were developing the city today, we wouldn't have any of that stuff.
I know.
You're right.
You think they'd let Kenwood Park, that right in the end of Lake of the Isles, go without 12-story apartment buildings in it? No way.
No way.
No way. You're absolutely. I love that tower that's there where you're talking about.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
tower's
yeah,
so
right
cool.
on Kenwood Drive or whatever it is. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. No, you're right. Minneapolis, St. Paul. If it weren't for the people, it'd be one of the greatest places to live. Anyways, so Sandy wanted to say hello to you. We blew him off.
I don't like him very much. He talks too much.
There you go. You and Sandy not getting along is hilarious.
We had so much. We were on the podcast together on the family years and years ago.
Right.
And then he was doing his own on the other one, and we'd always argue politics. But he was one of the few people I could argue with that I'd laugh about it at the same time. It was,
Yeah.
we just sort of enjoyed it.
Well, he doesn't get all severe about it, I don't think. Some people some people just get locked into that far left, far right deal. It's like, calm down, relax.
So you'll appreciate what I just purchased and just showed up. We've got, the Trump flags are starting to show up. A few of them on the dock. I'm like, God, I'm just going to laugh my way through the next 18 months. So I bought a flag to hang on the boat. I like Ike.
Oh, nothing wrong with that, baby. I love it.
And everybody that walks by just sort of laughs, and they go, yeah, let's not take life quite so seriously.
Well, plus the fact,
anyway,
you weren't even born when he was president, were you?
Well, I was born in 58, so he was
close.
52 to 60, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think you're right. There was a JFK.
Yeah, I mean, I clearly don't remember him, but, he's an interesting guy.
I like Ike. I think that's hilarious.
My nephew, who slept over last night and is currently still at my house, is named Ike, and people say that to him, and he has no idea what they're talking about.
Oh, no.
At some point, we're going to have to inform him.
Exactly.
I'll send you a picture of the flag next time I'm down there, Brittany.
Oh, perfect. I'll just tell him that it's for him.
Yep.
Yeah, do it for the show. I'd love to see it.
Well, that woman on, what's her name, Shaletta Brundage on CCO?
Yeah.
She has a kid who's pretty severely autistic named Brandon. And when he saw the Let's Go Brandon flags, he thought it was for him.
That's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Well, it gets even better. So she starts, getting this out on social media, and there's a NASCAR driver named Brandon somebody or other. I'm not a NASCAR follower. So he invited the kid and Shaletta to go down and meet him and watch him race. I mean, how cool is that?
That is a wonderful story right there. It just is.
So sweet.
Thank you for telling that story. Oh, let's go, Brandon. Isn't that sweet? Now, by comparison, I 2-3 times a month, I just drive through North Minneapolis, kind of all the places I used to live, and just try to bring back some memories of how much I loved living there and how wonderful it was and all the rest of it. And I won't say where on the Sheridan it is, but it's on Sheridan Avenue. And I was kind of surprised. In North Minneapolis, there's a huge sign in front of a house, and it says F. Biden, but it says the whole F word. I'm like, holy Hannah, Jesus.
That's not passive aggressive. That's pretty direct. You got to give him points for that or her.
But I mean, the neighbors have not asked him obviously to take it down because I found out it's been there for like years. I'd never noticed it before,
boy.
Or a couple of years anyway. But I was like, really, the F-bomb? And the letters have to be at least 18 inches high.
Dang.
It's huge. So
just remember, it's only going to get worse. By this time next summer, we're just going to be under fire from political ads.
Oh, it's going to be
I think
horrible.
we should just go to Canada for half a year and then see who wins and come back.
We could breathe the smoke. It'd be just wonderful.
There shouldn't be any fires. There's nothing left to burn in another year in Canada. It'll all be black.
That's about right. You're about right with that one, man. All right,
we talk cars for a second?
I was going to say, you want to sell some cars?
Sure. You guys are going to laugh about this, but Johnny Rock's coming out to look at a Mach-E tomorrow, and everybody in the store is so excited. Can you get him to do the chucker? And I'm like, it's not actually very far away from his real personality. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, good luck getting him to stop. He'll entertain you, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I like John. I haven't seen him for, a couple of years. I think the last time he was on Car Selling Secrets, and that was a couple of years. But he just started up in the cloud, if I remember right. But
wait, didn't you see
so
him?
He's coming out.
Didn't you see him at the party? Didn't you see him at the party for?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tom party. That Bilski, he's something else.
Bilski. That's all
Well,
I
that
have
was
to say.
originally my idea, and he goes, "Yeah, that's great. Let's get the wives together, and we'll take them out to lunch." And I just thought it'd be, Chesky's and you guys and Mike and blah 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 blah. And he goes, "Yeah, it's at Midland." And I pull in, the parking lot's packed, and there's 150 people in there. Like, nice job, Mike. That was cool.
It was a really, really nice time. Yeah, the only people who didn't show up were the politicians. What a shock.
Well, it's probably just as well.
You're probably right. No, it was a
Anyway,
it was a beautiful
in addition
day.
to the truckers showing up, we've got we are selling a lot of these electric Mustangs, both new and used. I think the word's getting out on them, but a majority of what we sell are pickup trucks. We are in the country, and the F-150 rules the day. They're wonderful trucks, and there's cool incentives on them right now. You get low interest rate if you qualify. It's 3.9 for 60, and you get a $1,000 rebate from Ford, plus the discounts that we put on them. If you're interested, you can see all this stuff and the actual prices that you'll pay online at flagshipford.com.
Magnificent, sir. We'll have a great weekend, and we got to get the wives out to dinner over at Layla one night.
I'm in. Just let me know.
I love it. We're going to Steve from Sabre and his lovely wife Tatiana, and we're going on Monday night. Go see Sam. Oh, I don't know if Sammy worked. Oh, he's out of town right now. But in any case, yeah, Layla's. Well, you and I have eaten there about 8 billion times now.
Yeah, well, maybe a dozen.
Well,
yeah, it's great.
A dozen, billion, whatever it is. Paul Walzer used to go over there with us once in a while, and that was fun.
Who was that?
Paul Flagship. His name is Paul. He changed his name to Paul Flagship now, whether he knows it or not, by the way. No, he changed his name to Colton.
Oh, nice.
It's time to move on, brother.
I think we're going to have to start this over again.
I think we're going to. All right, Doug, you have a great weekend, sir.
Bye, everybody. Have a great time. See ya.
Bye, Doug. Have a good weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, longtime friend of the Tom Barnard Show, Doug Sprinthal, Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin. Online, it's flagshipford.com. We'll be right back right after this.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, president at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt now joins us. What I'm going to have to do now, because Doug Sprinthal is on the show. He used to be on the morning show with me all the time back at the Q, but we're going to probably have to jump into him at about 39 or 40, because otherwise you're cut out of like 10 minutes of your delivery today. It's not fair.
I know, with breaking news too about Tony Bennett. I know you guys already heard the news,
God.
but yes, I mean it's so sad. At the same time, he lived a very big, full life, passing away at 96. But I just think a lot of us just kind of watched the last couple of years, maybe his final concert that was televised. I don't know if you guys watched it, but really incredible what the brain can remember when it's suffering from a brain disease.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I just brought up the fact he was in town a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, something like that. Maybe it's 4 years ago. I don't even remember.
Probably pre-pandemic. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think you're right. But Catherine and I went to see him, got to sit about 15, 20 feet away from him. He, at 92 then at the time, I guess he would have been, was working his ass off. I will never forget that. He's dancing and he's singing and he's moving around and he's telling jokes. He's 92 years old. It was wonderful.
his health was really good up until the Alzheimer's diagnosis. I saw him at his 80th birthday, which was held at the Dolby Theater. At the time, it was the Kodak Theater, and got the opportunity to watch him rehearse. And then about 4 years later, I believe, when I was at the Oscars, he was singing at the Governor's Ball, and I had the opportunity to interview him. I've been like trying to pull up the footage, but it's, I asked him, I said, how is it possible that your voice is still so good? And he just said he really took care of his voice, which a lot of singers don't. And he's like, I drank little, I didn't smoke, all of that. So it was one of those, he was, moving into his 80s and then into his 90s, and he still had that velvet quality that was so beautiful.
You know what's so wonderful about that? Just the memories that I have. I'm very lucky in that I have a really good memory, because I remember walking into a friend of mine, nice Italian family in North Minneapolis, walking into their house, and they got some Tony Bennett on, and I said, "Oh my God, Tony Bennett!" And his dad, my friend's dad, goes, "What?" I said, "I love Tony Bennett. His name's Antonio De Benedetto, okay? His name's not Tony Bennett." He would not call him by his made-up English-fized name. Yeah, De Benedetto.
Back in the day when they did that too, you would have to change your last name. They're like, nope, they used to say it was too ethnic. And I say that with air quotes, because that's what your agent would say. Now you want that. You want to claim and own that, which I think is a great reversal in Hollywood, honestly. But it's, I think with Tony, it's just, and when he had a resurgence in his career, thanks to Lady Gaga, the two of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Doing, each other's, doing some of his standards and some of her contemporary pieces. I think it's fabulous.
Yeah, being that close to a legend like that and watching him probably was his last performance in Minnesota, I would guess. It was such an honor. Just an honor to watch him.
Yeah, and he called me sweetheart on the Oscars red carpet. And I was like, and it was one of those where you're just and I have it on camera, and I'm literally like, that is so amazing, because he comes from that, like, oh, sweetheart, and you're like, yes, like that awesome era, not that condescending era of sweetheart.
No, you know what? It's interesting you bring that up, because I won't mention the client, but she's coming in next week, so maybe. Emily is one of the people I work with over at Twin Cities Premier Health. And I was talking to her, and she said, okay, I want to come in on Monday and do the show with you, and blah, blah, blah. I really like her. She's a great person. But I've only known her for a couple of months, something like that. And we're on the phone. But I still got that old, Catholic boy deal going. I said, okay, my dear. And I went, oh, maybe I shouldn't call you that. And she goes, no, it's fine. You got to get nervous. Calling somebody my dear now, you got to get nervous about that.
I don't think so. I don't feel like my dear is.
Good.
I mean, if you said it with like dripping with condescension, that is totally, a different thing. But if you're just like, okay, my dear, talk to you later, bye.
That's what it was, yeah. It was just like that.
I don't think anyone would take offense to that.
Toots used to love it. I mean, she always, everybody was my dear.
My dear.
My mother, my dear.
My dear, that's actually kind of sweet.
It is sweet.
You would have loved Toots.
Yeah.
She was the best. Oh, Kristyn, you would have loved my mother. Unbelievable. Except she had a deeper voice than I do, so what are you going to do? You kids behave. I'm like, holy Christ.
We will listen. Jesus.
We'll listen, exactly. So what's going on in Hollywood? What did we watch? Oh, Martin Clunes has a 3-part series, and I don't know. I think it's on Paramount, but it's on Acorn. It's on Acorn, the Acorn channel, where he travels to French Polynesia.
Ooh.
Or French, is it Polynesia? The Polynesian islands?
Mm-hmm.
There's
French Polynesia. Like Bali and stuff?
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. He literally gets in the water with this woman, a Polynesian woman, and they are surrounded by sharks. And I mean surrounded, and there's video of it.
Dang.
And the sharks are just kind of going, and they're looking at him, and then you just swim away. They had no intention of attacking.
What?
Him. Isn't that weird?
Terrifying.
It's a really cool scene. If you get a chance, you should look at it, because there had to have been at least 50 sharks around them.
I don't even care if you're like, Brittany, we promise you these are not going to attack you. I would have been screaming the whole time.
Would you do like the shark cage dives? Like you're in a cage?
I mean, a part of me goes, that sounds amazing. And then a part of me is like, I don't know. Because I found out, like, I think I would have done the submergible if somebody was like, that was worth doing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I got to start really second guessing what my instincts are like. Go, try, live. And I'm like, I don't know.
You also have go-go. Like, that's another, like.
Yes, like, exactly. But also, like, I don't know if I want to go like that. Like, if something happened to the cage, I'm stuck, it's going down, like all the things. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to be shark meat.
Yeah, you probably don't. By the way, before we move on, I should mention, you know who owned one of those islands in French Polynesia?
Who?
Marlon Brando.
All right, get some.
That's where he shot Mutiny on the Bounty.
Oh, nice.
They shot it there, and he loved it so much he bought the island. Oh my God.
I love a lot of celebrities own islands.
Yeah, they
believe it or
do.
not.
Yep.
They do. Like Tim McGraw and Faith Hill own an island of the Bahamas. Beyonce, Julia Roberts.
Okay. I just don't even understand. I just don't have the mind frame. Like, even keeping a house that you're not at, you still have to pay people to clean, to cook. I mean, to keep it, like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And now an island, like, you have to, like, hire somebody to help land the plane, hire somebody, like, an island.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you would have a house manager likely living there. And a lot of the celebrities, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when everything went into lockdown, a lot of them took their private jets and went to their private islands.
Of course
and
they
locked
did.
themselves up. Yeah.
So they pretty much paid for themselves at that point.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they probably spent a year there. I mean, I would love that. I feel like this is fabulous. I don't have to talk to anyone. I'm not going to get a bunch of like COVID germs. It's great.
I'd go crazy. I'd go absolutely insane.
Well, I used to live. Somebody calls me every morning at that number. Who the hell would that be?
It looks like a
You're silent,
spam.
Pain in the ass. Stop calling me, damn it. You heard me. You heard what I said.
You'd be amazed at how little an island actually costs.
Really?
The biggest problem is trying to get structure.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to
I
get
bet.
like an actual house with running water and electricity. That's
yeah.
the biggest cost because you can buy an island off like the coast of Florida. You can buy an island for like $200,000.
Really?
The problem is, what the hell are you going to do with it after you get it? Now you have to figure out a way to Sherpa all the materials to build a house.
Right.
That's the problem. I have friends of mine who have a cabin on an island in northern Minnesota. You have to wait until the lake freezes over, fill up the pickup truck, drive it out to the island, drop off everything, go back, wait until it gets nice again, and then boat out to the island and then build. So they've been working on this thing now for like 12 years. I'm like, why? This is such a pain in the ass. Like, I get that it's cool, but it's a pain in the ass.
Oh, that sounds insane.
No doubt about it. I lived on an island until about, 3 years ago?
Kind of.
Well, no, it wasn't kind of. It was an island.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I lived on Island Drive, as a matter of fact.
I know.
I loved living there, but you
you-
kind of look around and go, this house is a little too big for two people after the kids moved out.
That house was insane.
It was a great place.
That
no
was
doubt
such
about
a
it.
cool place.
Catherine designed that house, you know.
It was cool. There's like 5 different. Wait, do you want to have coffee here, here, here? Which landing? Which porch? Which?
Yeah, it was a great house.
It was so cool.
Taxes were a little high, let me put it that way. And then we'll move on from there.
I love Golden Valley.
I do too. I love Golden Valley. It's true.
We would go different ways on the street when we got off the highway. I'd go left, you'd go right. I'd
Yeah.
go towards the Byerlys, you would go towards
Yeah,
the lake.
that's right. That's true. It was a wonderful thing. So, getting some great advice from listeners, by the way. Got a review this morning on Fringe, which the man left a message and said that, Tom, you'll probably like the first 2 or 3 seasons. Because I just started watching it. Catherine and I both did. And he said, you'll like the first 2-3 seasons, and after that, you won't like it.
It falls off.
Oh, so you agree with him?
This happens on a lot of series where they,
Yeah.
they start off really strong. And I think what's important to note, if the showrunner, the creator, doesn't have these things mapped out, thinking like this is a 7-season show or this is a 4-season
Yeah.
show, they all of a sudden have to scramble and go, where is the story going? Because they maybe had a natural conclusion after season 3. And that's sometimes where you go, it just took a weird turn, things like that. Like I
Yeah.
could say Mad Men. Mad Men probably didn't need 7 seasons. It
I
probably
agree.
would have had
Yeah.
like a tight 5.
Yep.
And we would have been really satisfied. And I had a big debate with someone online recently saying that ending made me so mad. And they're like, but he became the Coca-Cola like creator of that ad. And I was like, but that really wasn't Don Draper.
Yeah.
No.
It wasn't like the essence
No.
of like who he was. So
Whatever happened to January Jones? She just disappeared.
she is like an Instagram social media superstar.
Oh, she is?
Yeah,
Oh,
she is.
She doesn't act anymore?
She does. She's had a couple series, but I think that they haven't been as big and as, present as Mad Men was in the pop culture landscape. But she's still out there. She's still acting, and she's very funny. And I
Yeah.
think that she needs someone to put her in a great comedy, because I think she would have a really major like career resurgence.
What happened with that? Because I thought she was terrific. She was Don Draper's wife, right?
She was. She also had a child, and the father is unnamed, and there is a guessing game as to who the famous dad is, because allegedly it was someone who is married. And so I think for a little while, after her son was born, she took just a step back from Hollywood just to kind of raise her son and get away from the tabloid headlines of that.
Really liked her. I really did. I thought she was very, very talented.
Yeah.
But you move on, don't you?
Yes, exactly. And she still has not named the baby daddy.
Will we ever know?
Well, there are guesses. Allegedly, one of the names is Jason Sudeikis.
Okay, I can see
who
that.
was not married at the time, so
so it couldn't
that
be
one
him.
is good. The other name is Bobby Flay, the chef.
Really?
Yes, and I want to make sure I have the yep. And because they were having a fling at the time, so that was kind of like a possibility. Although I think he has said that no, it wasn't me. And then I want to make sure I get the name of because it's a director. And they were in a movie together. Let me see. It's Claudia Schiffer's husband, allegedly.
Oh, okay.
A supermodel's husband.
But I have a question for you. And I guess there's a question for all three of you. If there was any chance that I would be the father of a child, I would want to know that, and I'd like to know my own child. That'd be great. I don't understand these people that turn in their backs on their own kids.
I know, it does happen in Hollywood. I mean, it happens in real life, too. The director's Matthew Vaughn.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, he's a film director, and I'm trying to remember the movie that they did together. But anyway, he is allegedly, and if you go and look, he looks a lot like Matthew Vaughn.
Oh, really? And the kid's how old now?
The kid's probably about 9 or 10 now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never understood that. You have a child and you don't spend any time with this child. You don't even want people to know it's your child. I don't understand that at all. But we just had a comedian on a couple of days ago, and Rudy and I were talking to him, and it's like, so you're very, very funny. How'd you get along with your dad? Yeah, let's not bring that up.
Yeah, as Jeff Leeson, and it said,
Jeff Leeson,
and he said, how'd your relationship with your dad? And he said, well, if I ever find him, I'll let you know.
Yeah. A lot of comedians, no doubt about it. Rudy, what is it, about 70%?
Oh, yeah. There's always some sort of trauma there. And even if Dad was around, Dad was not a good dad.
Yep.
Dad was usually an alcoholic, or, made the kid, forced him to do football when he didn't want to. Yeah, stuff like that. Sure. There's always some sort of underlying trauma that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Comedians always have, when they do their biographies, too, on TV, they always have... There's a lot of addiction. There's a lot of infidelity. When you hear the stories, it continues on.
But and I'll shut up about it, but it's so damn important to me that I'll mention one more time. I don't understand, if you have a child, how you would just leave them in the dust. I don't get it. Doesn't mean you have to deal with the mother or the father on either side. Well, it'd be the father, obviously, because the woman has the child. But, yeah, it doesn't mean you have to spend the time with the mother, but you could go hang out with the kid.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge, I only know the experience of carrying the kiddo, but I would think thered be a huge just pull to that kiddo. I wonder, and then I with January Jones, who knows? I mean, it could have been a sperm bank. We don't know at all. We really don't know any of the details.
Who are you calling a sperm bank?
That's what I call your dad.
He was a real good one, I'll tell you. Talking about barn burners.
Yeah, and she didn't put the father's name on the birth certificate, so it is a mystery and unknown.
But even if that's the case, wouldn't you still acknowledge?
Maybe they do privately and just not in a public forum, because
maybe. I hope
possibly,
so.
If it is a situation of a child born of an affair, and Claudia Schiffer, let's just say allegedly, if it's Claudia Schiffer's husband, Matthew Vaughn, and January Jones, that is a love triangle. That is, three public people that tabloids would love to go and grab onto that story.
I tell my children,
my
children know 36 and 34. I tell them every day I love them, every day, and not to just make it up either, because I really, really do. And the grandkids are right there, right next to them. Maybe it's a whole different deal. Maybe Rudy, it's because I went through that whole deal. Maybe that's what drives me to. adore my children so much.
Well, I used to empathize with my dad at least a little bit, even though he was a deadbeat and wasn't around and didn't care about us. Fine, whatever. But I empathized a little bit because he did have a rough upbringing. He had parents that were alcoholics. I'm like, okay,
there you go.
But the thing that turned my tide is when my daughter got to an age where she could start making her own decisions and leave when she wanted to. Because the first time that my daughter walked out the house and got into her friend's car who was driving to go to Valley Fair and just didn't say bye.
Oh.
I just heard the door shut, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I peek my head out the window, and the girls are getting in the car, and they're backing out of the driveway. And I'm like, no hug? No. So I text her. I'm like, hey, you can't leave and not say goodbye.
I agree.
And after that, I was like, and I just, the hurt that I felt when my daughter walked out, I was like, man, I know she didn't realize it, but she really triggered something to me about my dad where I just went, you son of a bitch, you had the opportunity to hang out with us all these years. You have 4 kids. You didn't take care of any of them. And I was distraught that my daughter did not say bye to me. And I'm like, okay, now this is where it turns for my dad.
I know.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Your inner child needs healing, Rudy.
Healing.
Oh, yeah. No. He'll be an inner elderly person by the time that healing comes around, Kristen.
Going to be a bit.
It's going to be a while. Yeah.
Chris, do you have any interest in hanging out for a few minutes with Chris Eggert?
Sure.
Because we got to take a break, but did you have like 5-10 more minutes?
Yeah.
Because we kind of shorted you again. I got to make sure when Doug is scheduled then to start her a lot earlier because.
Yeah, because I had called him like around whatever it was 8, 7:40 or something. I was like, hey, just hang on the line, and then you're right. But he's such a good talker and he's such a good guy to hang out with that it definitely pushes things back.
We will take a break. Be right back. Kristyn Burtt will join Chris Eggert right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
It's time to beat the heat. This is Tom from my friends at Miller Marine and Power Lodge giving you the keys to a cool lake breeze with clearance pricing on 2023 luxury pontoons, fishing boats, and more. Our dog days of summer won't last, and neither will their inventory. So do both of us a favor and go from floor to shore today with iconic Bennington pontoons and tri-toon packages at doorbuster pricing at Miller Marine in St. Cloud and all Power Lodge locations. Get your first cruise in by sunset. But don't wait on this limited time special. Power Lodge offers competitive financing with no money down. By the way, if you need delivery to your dock, their team of experts has you covered. Discover what thousands of our Minnesota neighbors have and explore our lakes and rivers in your own boat at Elite Savings. I said Elite Savings, darn it. Launch into adventure today at Miller Marine and Power Lodge. Just head to millermarine.com and powerlodge.com to see for yourself. Financing is available on approved credit. Freight and prep are not included in packages. Well, look who's here.
Did you miss me, Big Ticket?
Like an open sore Mrs. Carmex, man. Seriously, Doug, where have you been?
I'm running Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin.
The fireworks capital just 15 minutes east of the St. Croix?
That's the place. Anyway, I've come up with some marketing slogans, to put us on the map. Read these and let me know what you think.
Okay. Flagship Ford, drive a lot, save a little. Flagship Ford, you think you hate it now? Wait till you drive it. Flagship Ford, the largest Ford dealership in Baldwin, Wisconsin. Flagship Ford, where the cows are nervous. Flagship Ford, there is no ship, but we actually do literally have a flag.
Awesome, huh? Read this. It's my favorite.
Flagship Ford, white cars for... Oh, hell no, I'm not reading that. You've been day drinking again?
Maybe. The point is, buying a car should be fun and make you giggle a little bit. This is a great store I'm really proud of. You can check us out at flagshipford.com or email me directly at doug@flagshipford.com.
Flagshipford.com. You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Ladies and gentlemen, the highway to hell Brittany, Rudy, Kristyn, and Chris Eggert, working with the four of you, the highway to hell. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice.
Fair.
Nice. Really nice. News brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. By the way, Josh, as of course, co-hosting or actually hosting the Friday show and the family podcast now. So Josh will be with us just a couple hours from now. Nice. Looking forward to that.
Oh, nice.
The good guy. So Chris, I asked Kristyn to stay longer because I keep forgetting when Doug Sprinthal comes on to do his 1-minute commercial, it takes about 15 minutes. So I
good. Doug's awesome. So
I don't know about awesome. You know, he's okay. You know, now Kristyn, we haven't. I guess we didn't spend a lot of time or any time talking about it, but maybe Chris Eggert could tell Kristyn Burtt about our Minnesota Vikings and how fast they drive in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah. There's
Jesus. Chris, 140.
Guy was going like 80 miles over the speed limit. Over the speed limit.
Yeah, he's doing 140 miles an hour, Kristyn, at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, well, like on the freeway or on like
freeway.
Side streets? Freeway, okay.
Freeway. Yeah, nothing happened. He didn't get in an accident. I don't think there was any drinking and driving. He was just going fast.
That is fact.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just.
It's the best of that situation. No one was hurt.
Yeah.
There was no substances involved.
Right.
But the high speeds they're scary.
Go ahead.
I just was going to say there's a lot of that in LA.
Well,
believe it or not.
It's a Lamborghini.
Got to test that speed. Take it to the test track, people. You got enough money.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, right. And Chris and I, a couple years ago, there's a whole bunch of like really wealthy guys who were arrested for racing these kinds of cars around the Twin Cities. You guys remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the thing was like nobody could catch them, but they got caught on cameras. I think was how they ended up getting in trouble for it, as I recall. Yeah, I don't know. A young man with lots of money, a Lamborghini, lots of testosterone, and there you go.
Now,
free time.
Yeah, free time. Well, exactly. Somebody just texted me a short time ago. Apparently, is he the same guy? Because I don't know. I just glanced at the text. He offered his girlfriend $1 million to cover up for him. Was that the same story?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'll have to look up the story because apparently somebody offered their girlfriend $1 million to say she was driving. I don't know if it's the same story, though. I'll try to find it while you guys are schmoozing.
Right, let me look real quick in our...
it's hilarious.
I don't think... Jordan Lee Addison is his name.
I will say one thing about the driving in excess. At least it's 3 a.m. If you're gonna
That's what I mean.
Yeah, if you're going to go out and rip around in a Lamborghini, at least he was smart enough to be like, either he was up all night or decided to get up early because he wanted to see what this thing had, and he decided to do it at 3 a.m. because Kristyn is right. When I drive in Los Angeles, there are some people that are weaving in and out of traffic, and you're like, you are doing 87 miles an hour, and the flow of traffic is like 50.
I know, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
But drag racing is really common here in Los Angeles. And remember, we've got a plenty supply of Lambos and other high-speed vehicles, so it's not great.
You haven't been to Minnesota in a while, Chris, and so do we, so...
Yeah, they're great in the winter.
Yeah, we're filthy with them.
Perfect in the winter.
Lamborghini in the winter. Yeah, that'd be great.
Great car for the winter.
Great.
So much drag racing in Los Angeles. They just built a bridge. Kristyn, you might be able to lend in on this, but they built a bridge, brand new. They just opened it. There was so much drag racing going on the bridge, they had to shut the bridge down. It literally just opened like 6 months ago, and after 2 months of it being open, people had drag raced up and down it. There was so much tire, burned rubber onto the pavement, they actually had to tear it down. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, it's correct. And it's, it's one of those things. It really is weirdly part of the culture here in Los Angeles, the drag racing. And it's like our high speed chases that are 35 miles an hour on the freeway. But we have certain things that are just like so culturally LA, and drag racing is one of them. That's a great example of it.
Man. Well, I mean, they did make a whole movie franchise out of the premise of it, right? That's probably netted billions and billions of dollars.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, but they drove those cars to space.
Yeah, Chris.
It's a little different.
It's a lot safer.
I'm sorry.
Listen, one of the stars, Paul Walker, passed away from
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
From a high-speed situation in one of those vehicles. And you would think that he would have some precision driving skills in his back pocket as an actor who has worked on those movies.
Sure.
Should have put him in his front pocket, maybe.
No.
Oh, too soon.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. You guys were all best friends with Paul Walker.
Wow.
He was actually a good
Where
guy.
did Tom go, by the way?
I'm here. I was just looking up to see if I could find that story about the guy that offers his girlfriend $1 million, but I can't find it.
And he just took himself completely off the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, that happened again? Oh, Jesus.
You're a phantom voice now.
See, every time I just
I got a solution. I thought of
I
it during
hate
this
it.
break. I thought of a good solution. I'm going to put your camera on a different computer.
I don't
got
even
it.
want to be on this damn thing.
Yeah,
That's all
well,
I have to say.
we
No, I
like
don't.
seeing you.
Who
I
forget
need to
it?
know what hat and what windbreaker you're wearing every day.
Yeah, and I need your approval when I'm talking if I know if I've got your attention or not, and if
Okay.
and if I start to lose you, that's when I shift gears.
Oh my gosh, Chris, you too. When I say something and
Oh,
he'll be like, all right. And I'm like, oh my God, he hates this topic.
What are you talking about, both of you pains in the ass?
I'm just listen.
I thought it was just me.
Our job is to read our job is to read the audience, Tom. You know.
That's true. Yeah, your job is to read the audience. That's exactly right. All right, I'm going to jump back on so you guys can laugh at my hat.
Good.
What do you mean good, you pill? I've never liked you.
Damn it, Tom! I want to see you. I've grown so accustomed to seeing you now.
I've grown accustomed to your face.
How about Chris?
By the way, you guys probably talked about Tony Bennett, right?
Oh, I love Tony Bennett.
His last show here was at the Orpheum in 2019, which is really not that long ago.
Yeah, I said it had to be pre-pandemic. His last performance was 2021, though, which is pretty astounding considering what he was going through.
And I think he was already like in the onset of the dementia thing, well into that tour, that last tour too. So, boy, what a gift for people to be able to see him.
If anyone hasn't seen the special, I'm sure I'll have to find out where it is on streaming, but it's about his last concert. He knew it was his retirement concert with Lady Gaga. And she was saying that he couldn't remember her backstage, and he was out there on, I think it was Radio City Music Hall. He was already out there, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Lady Gaga. And she goes, in that moment, I knew my friend was actually present and there, because there is something about the brain and singing and lyrics that are all tied together.
Mm-hmm.
I had covered when Glenn Campbell had Alzheimer's before he passed away. He was able to remember all of his songs. The second he would stop singing, it would all escape him. And I think something very similar happened with Tony.
Is it a cadence thing? Do you think the cadence of singing is what kind of brings your mind, your brain together?
I think muscle memory is a big part of it. Probably. And the brain is such a funny thing. I have an aunt who has early onset Alzheimer's, and she's in the later stages now. And it's interesting to see what she remembers and what she doesn't. Her short-term memory is nothing, but she can remember something that happened back in, 1986, very clear.
Yeah, is Alzheimer's, is that a genetic thing, or can anybody get Alzheimer's?
They have done a lot of studies on it. So I'm actually in the process of maybe getting like some pre-screening done, because my grandmother had it, and I've got it on both sides, and I had an uncle who is suffering from it right now. So the early onset Alzheimer's is the worst.
So you think it is genetic then?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've done a lot of studies on it. Yeah. What was there was a documentary that won Best Picture like 5 years ago, I think it was, where they take Alzheimer's patients and they play music, because people, their short-term memory, they can't remember anything.
Right.
But if you play somebody a song from their childhood, from like when they were, 16, 17 years old, they can tell you the first place they ever heard that song, who they were with, what they were wearing. But if you ask them, hey, this is your daughter, they go, I don't have a daughter.
Right.
Yeah, I think, honestly, listening to that kind of thing in cadence and in rhythm helps your brain kind of lock into one thing. That's good.
Music therapy, and also it's very specific. Ballroom dance is also used for therapy for Alzheimer's patients because of the intricate choreography. Because you have to connect your mind and your body, and it's not like jazz or tap or anything else. It is very specifically ballroom dance because it's a partner dance.
No kidding.
Okay, I'm sad enough now. Shall we move on?
No, I'm like, everything you're saying, Rudy, I'm like, I am so screwed. I already have it.
And
like,
then
I'm already forgetting things. And
Not to add,
been
Chris,
a lot,
the sleep thing too will get you.
for sure.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of, I think the FDA might have just signed off on something. Like, there's been some pretty big developments, Alzheimer drugs.
There's a new drug,
Yeah. So, I mean, that is something that, and you talk about what could have a dynamic impact on that. So hopefully that'll keep moving in that direction.
Do you want me to pivot back to something you were talking about to get out of this topic?
Well, I just got to throw in one more thing because they're both in my mother's family and my father's family had it, where the older you get, the bigger prick you become.
Oh, wow. So we've got...
I don't know what it's called.
How?
But I could become an even bigger prick the older I don't. How could it get worse?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
Is there a cure?
I'm here to find out.
By the way, one thing I'll point out also, you talked about, you're off the screen. We like to see it. I cannot see you guys at all.
No, because I put up a phone call if you wanted to take it.
Oh, God, I'd love to. That's a magnificent idea.
Yeah, that's why that's up there, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Greg is calling in. Greg from Blaine, how are you?
Good morning, guys. Doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, magnificent. So you do have information on the Viking and the $1 million. Because I can't find it, Greg. What happened to it?
Yeah, well, I found it actually on the Star Tribune. It was Delvin Cook had offered his ex-girlfriend $1 million to drop assault accusations against him.
So Delvin...
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know anything about
same
that.
player, though. Yeah.
Well, I said I didn't know it was the same player or not, but so he wanted her to take $1 million to lie for him. Is that what he was trying to do?
That's correct.
I love our listeners. You guys that's correct. I love that. That's magnificent.
Did she take it?
No.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't?
No, it all went to court.
Yeah, that was the idea.
She declined it.
She declined it.
Yeah, she did decline the offer.
Unbelievable. Now, Brittany, would you ever offer me $1 million just to shut up?
About the abuse?
No, just to shut up all the time.
Yeah. That
See?
seems
I
like
knew
a really
it.
good deal.
I knew it. I saw it coming.
I mean, maybe a little less. Maybe we'd lean like $500,000.
$500,000 just to pipe down.
You do crack me up, though. Like, you do make me laugh. This morning you had such a hard diss. Like, it hurt my feelings and made me laugh at the same time.
Tell them what this hard diss was.
And I'm trying to remember.
It's such a hard diss. Can't you remember?
Oh, yeah, because I was going to ask you about your weekend, and I said, I'll wait till the show when I'm paid to talk to you. That was like a joke. And you said, they couldn't pay me enough to pretend to be your friend.
Oh, yeah, because she took that so seriously. Oh, listen to all of you.
Tell me that's not funny.
Greg,
that's
defend
funny.
me.
That's
Defend me, Greg.
hilarious.
I'm trying, but you know how it is. Hey, guys, Tom, I got to run. Just want to let you know I've been listening to you since your previous employer back in '86, and I really enjoy the show.
Thank you, sir, and tell all your friends, please, because we're trying to get everybody. Because I think about 90% of people don't even know this show's on the air, on the podcast yet.
I'll do what I can.
You're a good man, Greg. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day. God, I'm hearing a lot of that stuff that people have been listening. Well, I told you the kid from Red Savoy delivering the pizza was tearing up, going, I've been listening to you from the time I was a little kid, because he was like 35.
That's really sweet.
And I started there 38 years ago now. Yeah. So, but it's so cool to hear people talk about that situation and just how, yeah, man, and he did not know we were on this podcast. He had no idea there was a podcast. So we'll get everybody. But, the people that are listening, if you could tell your friends, that'd be great, because it's a bitch letting people know that this is even on.
And then
you got to get on TikTok.
You can do that.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Go viral, Tom.
Our threads, right, Chris?
Threads? You can get on
TikTok. Again, I've not put one thing out on Threads, Brittany. Thank you. I hate it. I'm going to get off it. It's stupid. I don't see a point.
I'm going to go to your post and read it for verbatim.
Yep, it says, hello, world.
Hello, world. That's a good
start. Be a smart ass.
Oh.
That's a good start. No question about
go
it.
ahead and look. Hey, what we also need to do is actually take people's phones from them and show them how to download the podcast app.
Yes.
I had to do that for 6 people. Podcast, I don't even know where to find that. I'm like, there's actually an app for it. It's the easiest thing you could ever do in the world.
And it's called podcasts.
And it's called And by the way, when you do it, if you do it in your car, most cars now, because of Bluetooth, will connect it right to your radio.
Here's what's nice about that. If you have Apple Play, or I think, what's the other one they call it? I can't remember. Google Play or whatever.
Yeah.
That if you connect your phone immediately, right when I jump into my truck, on the screen, boom, the Tom Barnard app pops right up. So it's
Really?
like, it's one of the apps you can actually just have on demand in your vehicle at all times. Yeah.
We'll get there. Matter of fact, I have a meeting, I don't know if it's today or next week or whatever, about that very thing. And yeah, because like I said, we've got to let everybody know we're even out here, because I still run into people every day going, man, I really miss listening to you, because they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But, what are you going to do? Can you take that thing down now so I can see everybody?
You can.
Yeah, see?
All right, I found it. July
Yeah,
6th.
typical.
Chris Eggert. If anyone cares to thread with me, I'm over on Threads app. Whatever that is. Ooh, smiley face.
Yeah. So yesterday you lied. You said, I'm over on the Threads app. Come follow me. I'm going to post pictures of my food, were your exact words. I can go back and
I
listen
may have
on
added the food thing, but the other thing is pretty spot on. And then it's like, here's my Threads app. Here's my little picture. Yep. And I'm just saying it's a little bit needy. It's a little thirsty.
Oh, stop.
Oh, as a journalist, give me that.
Hey, I'm supposed to be available to people on all platforms. Right?
That is true. I will back Chris up on that. That is absolutely true.
We're going to have to get a fake Tom then, because I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
No. My last post, what was the other one? It was Facebook, and what was the other one?
MySpace.
Twitter. You were on Twitter.
It was after Twitter. That's what it was.
You
It
were on
was
Twitter.
Twitter. I was on Twitter.
Grindr.
You can't find it anymore at all, because I guess my last post was, hey, why don't you go F yourself?
Yeah.
That was my last
You
post.
had a couple angry tweets back in the day.
Yes, I did.
It was
I do
iconic.
remember that. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
I was working the overnight and I was seeing them live and I was like, Thomas Bernard.
I'm telling you, honest to God, everybody's a tough guy on Twitter and Facebook. I hate that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny because it was like reported on and they're like, we're not exactly sure who the target was, but Bernard did say, beep you, beep this.
Like I said, Sonny Barger used to be the head of the Hells Angels, said everybody's a tough guy until they meet a tough guy.
It's pretty funny.
That was a great line.
That's a good line.
But yeah, I can't, God bless you, you're on there. And I know it's really good for business because everybody's on it. But I just can't listen to people chirping at me like that.
Is it though?
Oh, is it really
is
not?
It good for business?
I don't know.
I don't make a freaking cent off of Facebook or Twitter or Threads or Instagram.
Are you allowed to monetize, Chris, with your job?
I'm not.
Yeah, that's why. I was like, because you could be monetizing if you weren't.
How does that work? Because I need that. Then I wouldn't hate it so much. Now it's just a pain in the ass for no reason.
Well, there's been creator funds for both Instagram and TikTok. Brands reach out and will give you money to do videos or make appearances and things like that. There's a lot of money to be made.
I'll make a video for anybody. Just give me some money.
That's why I think there's a whole industry built around that, Chris.
Oh,
There
pornography,
is.
yeah.
And the truth is, it's why a lot of people who work for networks have now gone freelance, because then you are free to make a lot of additional money.
Yeah.
I just got a great text from a listener that said, yep, here was you about once or twice every day. Come on over. I'm at 917 North Lilac Drive. Get your ass over.
Oh, how many times would you say, come to the studio, and I would be the only one there on the overnight, and I'm like, please don't come here now.
Well, they couldn't get in anyway.
He's not here now, but I'm just like constantly, come to the studio. I'm here. You're not at the moment, okay,
I was
sir?
in the parking lot.
Yeah, well, you
Close
weren't close.
enough.
You weren't close enough
People
in my
are
mind.
nuts. Don't invite them.
Why? Come on over there, tough guy. Let's, not that I'm a tough guy. Don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm a tough guy at all. But if anybody has to run their mouth like that, I guarantee you they're not a tough guy.
Well, how about the time that everyone peed on our building and you weren't even in the building?
I don't even work in that building. I never worked. About 100 cab drivers came over because I told them they sucked at their job or whatever it was, something. So about 100 of them came over and pissed on the building. And next morning when I said, I got some bad news for you. I don't work in that building.
He wasn't wasn't even there.
It wasn't even there, and they were peeing up a storm.
Oh, that bet smelled good, I bet.
But they also chanted, Tom Brunart, this is for you. So my name was Brunart for one day there. So that was good.
Oh, I can still hear it.
Tom Brunart, this is for you. Tom Brunart, this is for you. They kept chanting that, apparently.
I was like, he's not here.
Can I tell you a random thing I learned about the taxi cab industry several years ago when I was working in Seattle? And every time it comes up, it fascinates me. This was like pre-Uber and Lyft and all that. It was apparently so cutthroat that if they were at the airport lined up or whatever places where a lot of cabs would gather, if a dude wanted to take out another dude, they would like shiv him in the ass or in the leg.
What?
So they couldn't sit.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Think about that.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
It's a little mean.
That came from a friend who claimed to have some insider information on it. And every time I see a cabbie, I'm like, holy crap.
There's territories. I know that. Like, you can't go in each other's territories. And I had a cab driver before Uber, and he'd be like, you need to walk 3 blocks east before I can pick you up.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They have, like, hardcore territories because he didn't want to get shivved in the ass, I guess.
Probably.
But then Uber came along anyway and ruined it for everyone.
And shoved him in the ass in a different way.
No, we said shoved him in the ass about 15 times on the show. This ought to be a big hit today.
I'm sorry, I've been cursing a lot today. I
Nothing
feel
wrong with that.
Restraints that have been lifted from me not being on TV.
It's a podcast. I watched your TV show this morning, like I always do, and your comportment was quite honorable.
Yeah, I'll do better.
I'll do better.
No, you were great. I thought it was.
need to step it
thought
up.
it was good. There's no question about it.
Is this the kind
Brittany made me upset.
Is this the kind of material we can expect on Threads, sir, from you?
He's not answering. He's not talking to you anymore.
Not talking about Threads anymore.
He
He's
just,
done.
I'm not going to talk.
I deleted that frickin' post anyway after I put it up because I misspelled something in the initial post.
It's still here.
I don't think so.
If anyone, I'm reading it. If anyone cares,
Is it
to
spelled
thread with
correctly?
me. Yeah.
I misspelled something in it and like deleted it. I was so embarrassed.
Did you repost it then once you corrected it?
I didn't think so. I was just like, forget
What is it? What does it say?
If anyone cares to thread with me, I'm over at the Threads app. Whatever that is, zany face.
Oh, God, you're so lame.
Oh, man, did you guys see Chris's new thread he just put out? He said he'd rather take a shiv in the ass than be on Thread. That's amazing.
I'm sharing this on our page.
Very well. Good job. That's all I have to say. All right, both of you, get the hell off the show. You heard me.
Okay.
I thought it was.
Have a good Barbie weekend, everyone.
Oh, now wait a minute. You can't go until. Oh, she's got her Barbie glasses now.
Oh, yeah.
Very cute.
Because I have heard, not from friends, but I heard from people in the industry, that the movie sucks.
No, it's good. Who says it sucks?
Well, a lot of people in your business thought it sucked out in
No,
Hollywood.
it got really solid reviews.
Yeah, how much they pay for those?
They can't pay for reviews.
Uh-huh.
The same amount we pay Tim Lammers to come in here in an hour and tell us that Barbie is amazing.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. It's the same amount. So
yeah, and it's going to win the weekend. It's going to make over $100 million at the box office.
So what is it about? I know it's about Barbie, but what's the story?
I don't know.
Barbie doesn't want to live in Barbie's world. And it really sort of dismantles a bit of the world that Mattel actually built for Barbie.
How does that have anything to do with the China Sea? I don't understand that.
There's a small clip, and it's so ridiculous.
Why do they do that?
It doesn't. You know what? If someone just hadn't noticed it, it would have gone.
Well, why
by.
would you do it in the first place?
I don't know.
Because people are a pain in the ass. That's why. I'm just here to tell you.
Okay, but you know what? Ignore that part and go enjoy the rest of the movie. It's
Enjoy
funny.
that part.
And Ryan Gosling steals the movie as Ken with his Kenergy.
I like him. Now they say that he is like his character's way over the top.
It's perfect because it's part of the song. This movie is all camp.
It's all camp. Chris just gave us the finger and said, "I'm leaving."
He deleted his post right after. Because I tried reposting it on our page.
So you deleted it?
And then he deleted it. That's why I was looking at his phone. He deleted. I bullied him into deleting something.
He's making a graceful exit, and I don't know when to leave. So obviously.
Oh, Kristyn, I'm so sorry. You just saw me. I'm so mean to Chris, but he's mean back.
Well, Kristyn, if you're gonna leave Chris, though, you have to give me the finger before you leave, and then you just disconnect.
I don't give you the finger. I'm
I know
nicer
you
than
never
that.
do. You're far nicer than Chris Eggert.
I was
That's all I'm
raised
saying.
More properly.
Properly. All right, we will talk to you next week.
Yes, I will see you all on Monday. I will be interested to see who did Barbenheimer, Oppenheimer, or Barbie.
Barbenheimer. So that's both of them?
Both of them, double feature. You got to do it. Sit there
How
for
about-
5 hours, which I know is not Tom.
How about none your business? Because I ain't going to either one of them. No, thank you.
All
Movie's
right,
got to
I
get a
will
lot
see you on
better.
Monday.
All right, thank you, dear. Kristyn Burtt, ladies and gentlemen. News, of course, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. I know we got to take a break. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. The Tom Barnard Show.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
We've been hearing about the new technology offered at Twin Cities Premier Health for the treatment of ED. This is one of those topics that can get uncomfortable to talk about, but the truth is, if new technology can improve your life by treating the root cause of most erectile dysfunction, why wouldn't we want to talk about it? Look, I've been going there I think I'm on my 6th treatment this week. Things go very well. It takes about 10, 15 minutes, not a big deal at all. It's a non-invasive, non-surgical, highly effective science-based procedure that creates an increase in blood flow and helps create new blood vessels by treating the root cause of most erectile dysfunction. If, like so many of my listeners, you aren't interested in continuing to take a pill to create a pharmaceutically induced erection and wipe all the spontaneity out, reach to the Twin Cities Premier Health like I did and right now receive this special offer. A free treatment and a free consultation when you book today. This is valued at $800, 952-395-4346. That's my unique phone number, 952-395-4346 for their office. Or go to TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. Be sure to tell them Tom Barnard sent you.
This is Bob Sansevere, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit BialkeLaw.com. That's BIALKE Law.com.
So, if you've been following my progress with MinnesotaFatLoss.com, I've lost right at 27 pounds, and you can too with the MNFatLoss.com summer special. $200 off, now only through July 30th. I'm going into my maintenance phase. I can't recommend this program any higher. Of course, any fat loss program is going to take some effort, but honestly, with MNFatLoss.com comes secret to fat loss. This program was way easier than I expected. The maintenance program allows me to add back in some more of the foods I love and still maintain my weight loss. You will absolutely be able to lose weight like I've done and save $200 with their summer special. $200 off, now through July 30th. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, just like I'm doing, that's about a pound of fat every day. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you. There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a 6-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Brittany sent me a story quite a while ago, and I've been avoiding it all morning because it's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my entire life. Miami woman, 18, arrested after allegedly trying to hire a hitman to kill her 3-year-old son. You hire a hitman to kill a 3-year-old.
Oh, and the story is even more bleak how they found out that she was doing it. I know. I actually that. I just don't understand what's going on.
People are crazy. People are getting dumber by the day, and that's because of, again, your fabulous internet. They are. They're getting dumber by the day. Yeah. It's sad.
It's rough. This story's rough.
And really unethical.
Yeah.
Do you think people are, I suppose, maybe there's been ebb and a flow to being unethical, but right now people are incredibly unethical, especially when it comes to money. Yeah. Or like killing your 3-year-old.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to read how they found out, Tom. It's crazy.
You got it. A woman accused of trying to hire a hitman this week to kill her 3-year-old son she's bonded out of jail. Yeah. Jasmine Paez, 18 of Miami. She's only 18?
Yeah.
Christ, she looks like she's about 40. Charged with first-degree solicitation of murder and third-degree using a communications device for an unlawful. You called a hitman on the phone?
No, it's even worse.
Oh, it's even worse than that?
There's even more of a paper trail than calling.
Listen, he's got a bullhorn.
There is, it's bad. Keep going, yeah.
All right, investigators say they were contacted on Tuesday by a man who operates a fake hire and assassin website to report that the woman had contacted the operator to arrange a murder for hire for the young child. According to police, the website founder created the online site to catch and curb those looking to hire a killer. Police say the suspect provided the address for the child and his picture to help facilitate the request. According to investigators, the woman asked that the job be completed by yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, Thursday.
So she went to a website that he made, this guy made it some fake website. You just Google how to hire a killer. That's the website she went to. Sent pictures and the names and tried to hire through that. I mean, that's crazy.
How incredibly stupid people have gotten.
Stupid, and then just wow, what's going on here? Give me your 3-year-old, okay? I will take your 3-year-old.
I know.
There are people who will take your 3-year-old. What do you want to do that is so amazing? What is the thing that this 3-year-old is preventing you from doing? I get it. You don't want a kiddo. Then figure it out.
Yeah. No, I agree. Do you think the only reason it didn't happen to Rudy and me with our fathers because they didn't have $3,000? That's
probably it.
Yeah, I'd like to make the joke that when we were growing up, if we went to a family wedding, we couldn't have a dollar dance because no one had a dollar.
So there you go. The dime dance. Mm-hmm. Let's get that bad boy going. Police traced the IP of the computer that was used to make the request in the website, and it was the same one listed by the woman who made the request, the police report says. Police went to the... Does she not know there's a big, record of this?
It's literally not even a paper trail. We're talking about a map was given to the police.
Oh, yeah. Here, I'm right here.
Here's the address. She gave it to me. Here's the picture that she sent me of her son.
Police went to the address, spoke to the child's grandmother, who identified the child as the intended victim based on the murder request submitted online. The boy was found safe and sound at the residence by police. Investigators then posed as the hitman and conducted a conversation with the woman who confirmed the request and agreed to pay $3,000 for the murder assignment. Police then went to the woman's home and arrested her. Investigators did not speculate on a motive for the request, but said her computer browser still had the murder for hire website on it.
Oh, man.
Honest to God.
Right?
People are getting so stupid. Why? First of all, there are plenty of people that would take a 3-year-old. You could just put them up for adoption. People would love people who can't have children.
Absolutely.
Why would you want to kill a little... Although, what did the kid do? Wait a minute, let's back that up.
No, we are not backing
Come
that
on, what did he do that pissed her off that much?
He forgot to use a coaster?
He stole her car, that's what he did.
The 3-year-old stole the car?
3-year-old stole the car. Yeah, look, we just talked about the fact I could never ignore a kid that I had with someone never intending to have the child or whatever. I could not ignore the kid, so I'm probably never going to have a child murdered. What do you think?
Well, okay, so it's I get it. You're 18. This is probably not the life you plan for yourself, but there's other ways around this. Mm-hmm. I get it. It. 18 for me, I would not have wanted to have a baby at 18. I still had a lot of living to do. But it's just take the extra work. I just do some paperwork.
Well, again, why, if you don't want a child, what are you doing having unprotected sex? What are you doing?
I mean, you're living in today's world, or maybe they did have protected sex and it
just failed miserably.
You never know the backstory. I have no idea the backstory, but I know that there's a lot of options before having that kiddo or after having that kiddo.
Yeah.
Besides this, like, this is bleak.
I don't think I've ever hired anyone to kill anyone. I'm almost positive I never have.
You're a real hands-on guy.
Yes, I am. I'd rather kill you myself.
That's true.
There you go, exactly.
Kind of reminds me, Mark Norman's got a new special coming out Tuesday, I believe, of next week, and he's got a joke in the trailer that says, I was walking out of an abortion clinic, and the lady was like, "You're a murderer." He's like, "Well, actually, I hired a hitman."
See?
Funny. It's funny.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not knocked out by that.
No, that was funny.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Kind of a lame response, I thought.
I went, hey-oh.
Hi-yo. 58% of us think we're underpaid, and almost no one thinks they're overpaid.
I might be.
Yeah, no shit. That's just a given right there, no question. You and Bob Iger, although he makes $300 million a year, so he does pretty well.
It's like looking in a mirror when we talk about Bob Iger.
$300 million to be on the Tom Barnard Morning Show. That'd be pretty good pay, man.
Hey, I'd take it.
There's a new survey out on jobs, and one thing is for sure, Americans feel like they're underpaid, even if they are happy in their role and feel like their work has a positive impact. 58% of people say they are either somewhat or very underpaid. Well, then why would you stay working there? If you're underpaid, then don't stay there. Go get another job. Right?
Yeah, I assume so. That's what I've quit many jobs. That's why you call me Quitney. I quit all the time.
You do it, Quitney. There's no question about it. Yeah, I never would consider working underpaid. No way.
I mean, I did. Like, when I started in radio, you accept it. And then after a certain point, you keep accepting it. And then at some point you look around and you're like, I don't want to do this for this little anymore.
You know, the very first time I worked, or maybe at the place we work now, but I'm not saying.
I'm saying it. I
started out doing the Jesus tapes on Sunday, and then I did weekends, and then I did, of course, the overnights, and then I did 10 to 2, and then I did 6 to 10, and it's just one of those situations.
Yeah, you actually had a normal progression, which is pretty rare in radio.
It is, yeah. But I got called into the GM's office. I'll never forget this. I'd been there for a couple of years. He said, "Tom, I got great news for you. We're going to make you full-time." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yep, it's finally going to happen. We're going to make you full-time. It'll be great. Welcome to the family, to the team. It's magnificent." I said, "Oh, that's great, man. It'll be great to make more money." He goes, "Oh, well," because I was making, I believe, $12,000 a year.
Yeah.
12 grand. The new full-time job paid 11 grand. It paid less.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy? It's true.
With Benny's, though, huh?
I didn't know because I never showed up on the air again. I
that
said,
makes
once you blow it out your ass.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they offered me $1,000 less than I was already making.
Man, you know what though? I'll tell you this: when you're at that young age and they hand you that contract, when I was doing mornings in La Crosse, Wisconsin, they gave me $17,000 a year.
Oh, see?
And I was a millionaire in my mind. I was like, look at all this money we have coming. I mean, when your rent is like $270 a month, and then you
That's
also
amazing,
and then you bartend on top of it. Like I was bartending 3 times a week.
You're doing well.
Yeah, I mean, you were killing it. But but then when you look back on it, you're like, oof, that is no bueno. Well, there's a large man that
you
just
let
walked
him
in
walk in the door.
Jeez, I'm
Thanks,
telling
Rudy.
you right now, man.
Thanks a lot.
There's no security in this building
Do you have
whatsoever.
a gun on your hip? Well, don't tell me to be quiet. I can see it.
I don't have any.
No, he doesn't. He does not. It's a boomerang. That's what it is.
Sure.
That's it.
The emphasis on
headphones?
boom.
Yeah, I do. If you would be so kind. Forget it. You're
Officer
out.
Dave is here. That's so funny, Rudy, because that look you got in your face is always the look people get on their face when Officer Dave walks in.
He just kept coming into the window. I was like, how much more man is left?
And could you have entered the studio quieter? We always hear when people open the door.
That's not Officer Dave.
I know.
You never hear him sneaking up.
300-pound cat, I tell you.
You are. There's no question. Okay, we're just talking about people thinking they're underpaid rather than overpaid.
Oh, I'm underpaid. I'll give you.
Oh, see, there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here comes Brittany. She's setting everything up so you can be on camera and everything, man.
Ooh.
So things are good?
Things are really good, yeah. How you been?
No, we were good until I found out today that Tony Bennett died.
Yeah,
but
I heard
I'm not a
that.
fan of that at all. I love Tony Bennett.
Yep.
Got very, very. I was trying to think because they said the last time he appeared in town was in 2019, but that was at the Orpheum.
Mhm.
But I saw him at Mystic Lake, so I wonder that must have been at least 5 years ago then.
Let's
I
see.
guess.
I think he came through town like on a whimsical tour thing or something.
That's what I
remember.
thought. Yeah. I don't know when the hell that was, but it must have been before 2019 because they said that was the last appearance. Was at the Orpheum, excuse me. And I know it was at Mystic Lake. It was a hell of a deal.
He played there June 9th of 2017.
That was 6 years ago already? Oh, he was only 90 then. He was very young.
He was spry.
That was 6. I literally would have told you that was a couple of years ago. I literally would have thought that was about 2-3 years ago, maybe 3 years. Turns out 6 years ago. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's amazing how time goes, isn't it?
Indeed. Now, if you never got a chance to see Tony Bennett, he was one of the great talents of all time. He died this morning if you just tuned in. Can you tune into a podcast?
Yeah.
Can you tune it in?
Ours, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
The way we
get it.
stream it, you can tune in at any time. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. But is it tuning in or is it just clicking in?
I guess you could say tune in. I know what you mean by tune, like you tune the,
Like you tune the
radio,
radio,
to get
yeah.
to it. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. I guess the verb has changed. So tune in, I guess, would be fine.
Yeah, because, I mean, you don't tune into a radio anymore either. You push a button. Used to be turning that little dot.
The old Philco radios.
The
Oh, yeah.
Philco radio.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. There's no question about it. So things are good with you? Everything going well?
Everything's good. Just got home back from vacation yesterday with the family. It was a
Vacation
phenomenal
from
trip.
what?
Yeah, that's just it, right? Well,
Jesus,
everybody else took
Palomino.
vacation. I just took 2 days off.
Honest to God. I said, but just 2 days? That's it? You went 2 days?
No, we were gone Sunday through Thursday.
Did we get to hear where you went?
We up to my buddy's got a little spot on a lake called Little Thunder up by Reamer.
Oh, yeah.
Know it very well.
Yeah, it's
Okay, do the little line because it's one of the great lines in the history of Minnesota.
You got to take Emily to outing to Reamer. Yeah, that one is that the one you're
Emily
thinking?
to outing to Reamer.
Yep.
That's exactly what it was. Fantastic. Oh, look how impressed Brittany is.
I've heard it before. I'm not hating. You want me to go? Oh, there's another one too.
Just making it up as we go along.
There's
Yeah.
another combo of cities that people say too that are
There
like
is,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can't remember offhand, but yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those classic ones for sure.
I still love Embarrass, Minnesota. You named your town Embarrass,
Right.
really?
Well,
You know.
I
when
love
it's
that, though.
a bazillion below zero every year, why not?
Oh, it is bazillion below up there. There's no doubt about that. But, yeah, when I was working at KNOX in Grand Forks, we used to drive across over to go to Thief River Falls. And Joe Folger was working there at the time. But we used to drive those way to see all those different people. From Grand Forks to Duluth has to be what, about 7-hour drive?
Oh
or
yeah,
some
it's a
damn
long
thing?
way. You're
It's
up
a
in the wide
long
part
way.
of the state up there. So.
Yes, indeed, and not a lot of freeways up there either.
it's that what is that Highway 2 or something that
Highway,
goes.
yeah, Highway 2. It used
Oh,
to
there
be
you go.
a pain in the ass because you used to have to take all the back highways like through Hibbing. And
Yeah,
then go,
yep.
and now Highway 2 it shoots off in Grand Rapids and goes right to
Really?
Duluth. Yeah, it used to be, and all these like little tiny small towns. There's a place called Beauvais. And the only reason why you went to Beauvais was to get gas, or they had like a little pizza shop there.
Oh.
And then they took the highway and they went around the city. And now you drive through the middle of Beauvais and it's dead. Like, there's nothing there
No
anymore.
pizza place?
Because nobody wants to stop. That was the beauty about driving through these small towns. You could hang out, you could
Yeah,
get a
you'd
beer, whatever. But now they're all gone because people just want to get to the arteries. They want to get to Fargo. They want to get to Grand Forks.
Yeah,
they want to get to
yep.
Duluth, and that's it.
Yep. No, you'd have to be rolling along 60 miles an hour and then slow down to 30 for every town every 7 miles.
One of my favorite stories about going up to Grand Forks, North Dakota. I believe I was maybe 20 years old. And I am not making this up. I'm not trying to be a prick because people think I'm just making it up and being an a-hole about it. But I moved to Grand Forks, North Dakota. I was like 20 years old, maybe 21, but I think I was only 20. But I moved up there. I could not understand what anyone was saying.
Oh, yeah, there, then. Hey.
Honestly, I'm like,
Very
what the hell?
sing-songy, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could not understand what the hell they were saying. And I believe that was at pretty much the same time. You guys might be able to nail down what actual year it was because I think I might have mentioned this yesterday on the show that I filled my gas tank up about, God, where the hell? Doesn't matter where. Otter Tail County, I know is in Otter Tail County. But the guy says to me, man, I cannot believe this. You're the first guy this has ever happened to. You know how much it cost? It cost you $10 to fill your car. And he was just having a fit that it was so expensive.
Oh, my.
man.
Was it now like $70 now
Yeah.
or something?
Oh, if we could go back.
Yep. Oh, we took the, my wife and I are big into riding ATVs. So we have 2 4-wheelers.
Sure.
I have a way to put them like directly on top of my truck.
Oh, really?
So it's literally, I'm going down the road and I get 10 miles to the gallon if I'm lucky when I'm doing that, right? It was $85 to fill my truck.
$85. Did you ever think you'd see that day?
No, because I still remember doing it, filling my first pickup for 50 cents a gallon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, back in the day,
Yep.
no doubt about it. But how about you? It's the cheapest gas you remember.
Well, gosh, I remember it was always, my parents would give me $20 to fill up the tank.
There you go.
It was always like, here's a $20 bill,
Yep.
and that was like 20 and some change. And that was for a Camry, so yeah.
So $20.
$20.
$20 would fill that tank pretty easy, I think. Yeah. Back in the day.
I mean, so you're basically talking quadruple prices now since then.
Oh my God! And if we take the big car, my husband's like, that's the car he drives is the bigger one.
Oh, okay.
And if it's out of gas and I have to fill it up, I'm always like, how are we? Can we afford this? Should I stop halfway? Like, it keeps going. I just blows my mind.
Some vehicles take over $100
Oh,
worth, and I'm
for
talking
sure.
about cars, not just big trucks or anything.
I mean, yeah, it blows my mind. Like,
$100.
Because we got that big Escalade. Like,
Oh, that's a nice car, though.
yeah, it's nice, and
is.
it's nice we have a big one when we like go up north and everything. But every time my husband drives it to work, I'm like, "You sure you want to take the other one?" Oh my God, you sure?
Save a little gasoline for the family.
All of a sudden, I'm like freezing our deli meats and becoming very cheap in other places to make up for my husband to drive the car.
So basically, you're what, 37?
Yeah.
Where are we headed when you're my age? I mean, what is a tank of gas going to be, $1,000?
I don't know. Maybe it'll hold here for a while, but we've said that for a while, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of trying to worry about that, I can't add that to my plate. Hopefully.
Well, no, I'm not asking you to worry about it.
No,
but
no.
It's gotta go way up.
I know.
It'll keep changing. It'll fluctuate. I get the feeling, we'll
drop back down a little bit, but never back down to 50 cents.
No, it'll never go that low again.
No.
But unless they get to the point, everybody's driving these EV.
Well, that's
vehicles.
true. That is true.
And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, it's like, well, nobody's driving gas. Well, we need to sell gas. Here we go. Here's an incentive for us old timers who refuse to let go of the V8s. But
I guess it's my third electric vehicle that I've owned.
Mm-hmm. It needs a wash job, by the way.
Oh, I noticed it rained.
It looks like snot.
Well, it just rained. I didn't know it rained.
Yeah, his car is embarrassing.
Yeah, it really is embarrassing. Don't wink at him like that. I saw that. She tried to do it with her hidden eye, but it wasn't hidden. Hey.
I forget we're on camera.
The wrong eye.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shoot, that was my wrong eye.
That's my pink eye.
But yeah, I mean, I still cannot get used to the fact that I don't have to fill it up. And I've had it for about a month now.
That's wild.
I just can't get used to the fact that I don't have to go to the gas station and fill it up anymore. Because I still go there to buy, like, a soda and a sandwich or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm there, but they look out at me like, you son of a bitch.
Do you park in the parking lot then, or do you
He parks right in front of the pumps.
I just park at the... Oh, my God. Can you imagine pulling an EV up to a pump?
Oh, I'd do it.
Tom,
I would do it.
I swear people do that.
I would
Why?
do
it. When I was full-time copping and I would have to go fill it, because we're a small city. We just had a gas card at the local gas station, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People would pull up, Teslas right in front of the pumps.
Why would they do that?
Because they're a-holes.
It's because it's convenient for them.
It's easier for me to just run right in the door.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
love that stuff.
it's one of those things where, okay, I will obviously take the parking lot spot if they have it. If there is none,
Well, then
maybe
there's nothing else you could do.
then maybe I'm thinking about gas and I change my mind, go grab myself a Diet Coke and come on out. Like,
You know that holiday store over there where, what is it? Something turns into, you take a left there. It's where the Otter Inn.
oh, yeah.
Right there by the Otter Inn.
Yeah.
There's never a place to park or fill up there.
That's because
that place is packed.
Brassa's right over there too.
Yeah, it is, right.
And
exactly.
they have no parking at all in that area, so people will use the edge of that parking lot for Brassa.
You're not supposed to do that.
I know, but I'm telling you how it goes.
But honest to God, that place is always packed with
Always
cars.
And I think people take a lot of breaks there too. Like people will stop and eat their lunch there because there's like a fast food place there as well. So I think people just stop and eat there a bunch too.
There was a young woman behind the counter because I go in there a few times a week.
Yeah.
I either go over to Hubbard or I go to wherever,
Yeah.
Midland, all that kind of stuff. I go up to the counter and there's this young person in front of me and the woman's behind the counter ringing her up and all the rest of it. And the young person can kind of be a pain in the ass to the cashier. I don't know why, but they were just, for some reason, they're being a pain in the ass. So as a joke, I just said to the guy, "Why aren't you pleasant?" And the woman behind the counter is like, "You're my hero."
I know. Don't you love when you get to be like, you see somebody working a service job and
Yes.
you have worked something like that? Like
Oh,
as,
yeah.
as a server, I've been like, all right, I wish somebody would call this person out, and now you get to be that person.
Person to call him out, yeah.
Yeah, it's so lovely.
And they don't get it when you say things like, "Aren't you pleasant?" What do you mean? No, I'm not.
No, I'm,
Like,
I am, but
That's
what?
exactly what we're saying, pal. Yeah, exactly. One of these days, I'll get to that point. I have that mouth for that anyway. So to be that guy that says, "Well, aren't you pleasant?"
But you'd probably give him a heart attack if you said that.
Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah,
Like,
with great shoulders comes
Yeah.
big mouth too. Because if a guy like me were like, "Aren't you pleasant?" I'd get the hell kicked out of me in the parking lot at Trader Joe's. Dave flicks him like a booger all the way through the parking lot. It doesn't work. It's not the same. It doesn't work, Dave.
No,
it doesn't work like that.
It's one of those things, Rudy. I have the sense of humor to say, "Hey, that's funny, actually. Good job."
Yeah, can't.
No, it isn't. No, we've never. Well, yeah. Why don't we do this? Take a break because I want to ask you because I've never asked you about being as big as you are. There got to be some things that don't flow all that smoothly in your life. Oh, he goes.
like plane travel.
Airplane. Well, tell you what, we'll take that break and we'll be right back in a couple minutes because we got a bunch of good people. You got to hear. You got Ken Hrbek's coming on with Judd Zulgad. You got Timmy Lammers coming on this hour. It's going to be one hell of a 45 minutes. That's all I'm saying.
Cool.
We'll be right back right after this. It is time to beat the heat. It's Tom Barnard from my friends at Miller Marine and Power Lodge giving you the keys. Now, again, it's going to be hotter than hell this week, so you should go buy a boat because you can cool off, a cool lake breeze. With clearance pricing on 2023 luxury pontoons, fishing boats, and more, our dog days of summer won't last, and neither will their inventory. So do us both a favor. Go from floor to shore today with iconic Bennington pontoons, tri-tune packages at doorbuster pricing at Miller Marine in St. Cloud and all Power Lodge locations, as a matter of fact. Get your first cruise in by sunset, but don't wait on this limited time special. Power Lodge offers competitive financing, no money down. By the way, if you need delivery to your dock, their team of experts has you covered. Discover what thousands of our Minnesota neighbors have and explore our lakes and rivers in your own boat at Elite Savings. If I say it's elite, then it's elite, damn it. Launch into adventure today at Miller Marine and Power Lodge. Just head to millermarine.com and powerlodge.com and snag some throttle therapy for yourself. Financing is available on approved credit. Freight and prep are not included in packages. We've been hearing about the new technology offered at Twin Cities Premier Health for the treatment of ED. This is one of those topics that can get uncomfortable to talk about, but the truth is, if new technology can improve your life by treating the root cause of most erectile dysfunction, why wouldn't we want to talk about it? Look, I've been going there I think I'm on my 6th treatment this week. Things go very well. It takes about 10, 15 minutes, not a big deal at all. It's a non-invasive, non-surgical, highly effective science-based procedure that creates an increase in blood flow and helps create new blood vessels by treating the root cause of most erectile dysfunction. If, like so many of my listeners, you aren't interested in continuing to take a pill to create a pharmaceutically induced erection and wipe all the spontaneity out, reach to the Twin Cities Premier Health like I did and right now receive this special offer. A free treatment and a free consultation when you book today. This is valued at $800, 952-395-4346. That's my unique phone number, 952-395-4346 for their office. Or go to TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. Be sure to tell them Tom Barnard sent you. On MyPillow's 20-year anniversary with over 80 million pillows sold, Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank each and every one of you by giving you the lowest price in history on their MyPillows. Queen-size MyPillow's regular price is $69.98, now only $19.98, and just $10 more for king size. MyPillow's patented fill adjusts your exact individual needs to help you get the best sleep ever. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to get Mike's amazing offer on the queen-size MyPillow for only $19.98. Enter promo code TOM. In addition to this special anniversary offer on the MyPillows, you will also receive deep discounts on all MyPillow products such as bed sheets, mattress toppers, pet beds, mattresses, My Slippers, and so much more. Take advantage of the biggest sale in MyPillow's history. Go to MyPillow.com, use promo code TOM to take advantage of Mike's special offer on his MyPillow. That's MyPillow.com, promo code TOM.
Hey, you're listening to the Tom Barnard Morning Show. You're so lucky. We've got Judd here. And we got Kent on the phone?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, let me bring him up in just a second. Talk to Judd for just a hot minute. Yeah.
And Officer Dave, side note, Judd and Dave, Tom will say I attacked him in the hallway, and the reality is I was coming out of the door or coming into the studio when he was coming out, so just let you know that that's the drama that's going to come in.
Yammering about.
Drama.
See, I would have been back on time, except when Brittany left, she left the chair right in the middle in the way, so I had to move
What chair?
The one you were sitting in to put him up on screen.
Oh, yeah, you're so
Left it
dramatic.
right
I knew there was
in the
going to be
middle.
drama. Oh, yeah, the chair you ran into, I'm sure.
I did. I almost tripped and fell to my death.
I had to do medical, use my medical training almost.
Okay, one thing I gotta love about this show today.
Yeah.
Even though Kent does not appear his picture's not up on the screen. I finally have a guy in studio that's bigger than Kent Hrbek. Thank God. And we're gonna push you around today, Hrbek. It's gonna be big trouble.
Go for it.
Game on.
Yeah, see how that works for you there, Tommy boy. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to do this every Friday. Here we go. Minnesota legend Kent Hrbek Sports is brought to you exclusively by Killebrew Old Fashioned Root Beer and Cream Soda. I love that stuff. It's at the ballpark up north or in your fridge, Killebrew Root Beer and Cream Soda. Kent Hrbek here. Judd Zulgad in for Phil Mackey today. Phil's off making the big dough. That's what it's all about?
He returned to Seattle, where he lived for about a year, to attend a wedding of some sort.
Oh, okay.
So I did accuse him, though, because I saw she's doing a couple shows in Seattle this weekend of actually trying to go to the Taylor Swift shows at the football stadium there.
Well, that's probably true.
He denied it, though.
Is he the one that lost the game for him yesterday?
Who's that?
Was he at the game?
Yeah, was he at the game yesterday?
No.
5-0
He was
Seattle.
flying out, I think.
Oh, he's still in here.
He can't be blamed for that loss.
Good morning, Judd.
Hi, Ken. How's it going?
Wonderful. We're in first place. What else is more wonderful than first place?
No, you're absolutely right. And I understand Seattle's pretty even keel with the Twins, aren't they? I mean, they went 2-2, and that probably was expected because the Twins have their problems in one area, Seattle has their problems in a different area, and it just it showed itself in that 4-game series.
I like to have problems and be in first place. That's good.
Well, that was my whole career in radio. I had so many problems being so far away ahead in first place. Sorry about that. Let's move on with reality, shall we?
It's not like it's they're way ahead and all that kind of stuff. But win your division, go to the playoffs. But I don't know. They came out of the gate against Oakland. They did well.
Yep.
That second half here, but still didn't seem like there's any kind of different baseball being played. They all of a sudden they catch fire one day with the bats, and the next 3 days they can't find their what's with the bats. So
yeah,
and pitching's been doing good again yet. So
yep.
Status quo here, but still, like I said, still in first place. So let's keep doing that. Maybe that's why they didn't do nothing. I don't know what Judd thinks, but maybe that's why they didn't do nothing in the over the break, or calling different guys up, or Wallner's up now. But
maybe they don't want to mess with a good thing. I don't know if it's a good thing, but it's a first place thing right now.
No, it's true.
Hey, Kent, what's your feeling or heck your analysis on Buxton?
Boy.
Like, do you think he's trying to play through? Because I mean, he's got the knee, he's got the hip, he's got the back, or do you just see a fundamental flaws at the plate that are causing this? Because I mean, this is now a deep slump. It's got to be maddening for him.
Well, it's not. It's a whole year slump right now. It's not. It's not just slump right now. He's had two or three different types where he's gone hitless in 30 at bats or 20-some at bats. You know, I just think it's. I don't know. If there is something hurting him, sit him down, get him out of the lineup, get him better. You know, hopefully, because he's not helping the club the way he's swinging the bat. We know that, and why not sit him down and rest him if he is hurting? If he's not hurting, the boys that are helping him hit, the hitting coaches or maybe even somebody that knows Buck or has seen Buck play, give him a little hint on whatever, a couple different things you should be doing. He just doesn't look like he's trying to stay down and go through the ball. He's pulling off everything.
Right.
Not driving the ball the other way. And the guy's strong enough that he get the ball out of the opposite field. And I think that's the main thing. I don't know, and I'm not going to say it's going to fix him, but back in the day when we played, it was, stay on the ball and try to, take batting practice and hit out of the 50 swings you take, hit 45 of them to right field if you're a right-handed hitter, hit 45 of them to left field if you're a left-handed hitter. Try to stay back. He seems like he's jumping out in front of everything so much. And I don't know. I mean, that's my analysis, I guess, is and then it was Randy Bush's see the ball, hit the ball. Swing hard in case you hit it. But I'm not down there working with these guys or seeing them what's going on, so I can't really. My analysis was what I saw yesterday with a couple swings he took. He's way out in front of everything, and then he talked about his little slower approach. Well, he's still not driving the ball the other way, like I think, which helps you when you're in the slump.
Well, the one thing I should mention is I don't know if Kent knows what the hell he's talking about. I mean, sure, he hit a grand slam in the World Series, but what do you know?
Yeah, big deal, Kent. Let it go.
One out of 5,000 at bats.
I don't think so.
We got a listener, too, that might add to your legacy. Not like you need it, but Chad wrote in and said, tell Kent my son is playing at Kent Hrbek Field in the state 12 and under league today.
That's cool. Awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ballpark. They've been busy down there the last couple of weekends. I've drove by and see a pile of kids at the park. It's always fun to see little kids playing ball at the ballpark and have the stands full and the ballpark's full down there. It's fun.
It is a wonderful thing. Well, it's got to be quite an honor to have a field named after you, I would think.
Yeah, it's humbling and kind of take a double take when I drive by. I happen to see the sign and we're having down. It's pretty cool. It's fun.
Well, I do a double take when I see the sign. So what does that tell you?
So Judd, what do you think? You've been around. You've been around in the clubhouse more than I have.
It's a weird team. First of all,
it's a weird team.
I never thought that.
I have to sneeze now. Damn it. Go ahead.
What's that?
He's gonna sneeze all over.
I have to sneeze now. He made me. I kind of inhaled a little bit of this soda.
Oh,
and
that's
went right up my nose. Sorry about it. I was laughing. It was my fault. Go ahead.
The starting pitching has been, Kent, for the most part, so good that this team should be in first place, but they should be in first place, especially in this division, by about 5 or 6 games, right?
Right.
The bats are what I don't get, and here's what confuses me. To your point about the All-Star break, I am really surprised that they haven't done a bit more to try and shake things up a little bit. Now this Julian kid I really like. He's not great in the field, but he can really hit. Kirilloff, I think, should play regardless of who is starting, a lefty or righty. But I am a little bit surprised that they have not been more proactive with the bats, just because there's such a, to what you're saying, there's such a golden opportunity here to basically not just win this division, but if you do it right, run away with the damn thing.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point there. They should be running away with the division with the pitching they got. That's for sure. Yeah, the offensive part of the game is just, I don't know, they've struck out more than anybody, I think, in the league right now. But then again, they keep you turn the page and you look up there on the scoreboard or whatever, and their team is on top of their division. So, yeah, like you said, they should be on top of their division by, you would think, 6, 7, 8 games or whatever. But they're not. Get them in the playoffs with the pitching they got. Boy, it's a short series, and you throw the pitching that we got at them.
Right.
They got a chance if they can score some runs. Like I said last week, you can't win 0 to -1. It's pretty tough.
It is.
It is. Ken Hrbek, 18-game playoff losing streak. All we want is a playoff win at this point, right? That's all we want.
I don't think that's all they want. I think they want a little bit more than that.
No, I said we. I said we as fans want to see that just end. It's been 18 games. It's the longest. Right. It's the longest streak in North American sports history at this point among the major sports.
Okay, so you're bringing all that up.
I'm putting some pressure. I'm putting some pressure on him to tell you what I want to see.
Yeah, I'm on Hrbek's side. You're bringing the facts in. Who likes you, Judd?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Brittany, that's true. That's very, very true.
No, I do have to mention one thing to some maybe younger listeners or younger Twins fans. I will tell you flat out, and I think Mr. Hrbek will agree with me, in 1987, nobody, even though they won the division, thought the Twins could ever win the World Series. I mean, maybe you guys on the team did, but very, very few fans thought you guys would get beyond that first round of the playoffs.
Right, yeah, even beating Detroit, yeah. Yep. That was even getting by those guys. I mean, they had a heck of a ball club then, and we slapped a few things on them, and, yeah, boys got hot. Everybody in the lineup got hot but me. I stunk the place up.
Oh, here we go. I hit a grand slam, though, in the World Series.
Probably could have drove in a bunch more runs before that, and we wouldn't have to worry about that.
But that team can't. The thing I loved about that team, and it really came out. I think it came out through the course of the season, but then especially in the playoffs, that team was mentally wired so well. I mean, you guys were tough. You guys would roll. You know, if something bad happened to that team, it would roll off your backs, and you would just go back. Like that's what I want to see from this team is a resilience consistently, because like there were a lot of things probably working against that team in 87, but I think the perseverance and the mental toughness were absolutely instrumental to that entire run.
Yeah, we had some guys that we didn't have. First of all, we didn't have any superstars on the team. Everybody talked about the Kirby Puckett's and the Ken Hrbeks, but we were all the same in the same boat together. That there was no superstar in that clubhouse, and it just seems to me like they talk about Correa so much. They talk about Buxton and this and that, and one of these guys going to produce. The other guy, the guys that were our heroes on our team were the guys that there's 4 of them that played in both series, 87 and 91. A guy like Gene Larkin, who came off the bench for us. He played in both World Series, and Randy Bush, Al Newman. These guys, I mean, we were a team all together. There was no superstars on the team. Everybody put their pants on the same way everybody else did, and we got along. And I really think it had a lot to do with the way TK managed us and got us with the ball game. He was a master at that, I thought, and really we followed his lead. He was pretty instrumental. It was fun watching games when he played against another manager who was also that way, as far as really trying to outthink the other manager, going against a guy like Sparky Anderson for Detroit or Tony La Russa with the A's. There was always a real. You could see those two guys' heads banging out there by home plate. They were sitting in the dugouts, but they were really trying to outmanage each other, and they knew how to manage. They knew how to set people up for. Like Tom said, he always tried to get one of his players in the best position that he thought that guy was able to do.
Yep.
And, bring somebody off the bench or bring somebody from the bullpen. So, Yeah, and I don't know. I just don't know the feel of the team down there. Like I said, Judd, are they walking around with their eyes wide open, going, "Geez, what's going to happen next?" Or are these guys going, "Hey, we're going to go out there and kick butt tonight"? That's kind of the way we were. We were thinking we were going to kick everybody's butt. We had kind of a growly, raspy team, I think.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think the second part of your question, which is I don't perceive that this team at all has that we're going to kick your butt and we don't care what you've done, which is what you guys had in spades. No, Kent, people have changed so much. Players have changed. They're wired differently. They were raised differently as well. And yeah, the whole thing is, it feels at times, it's weird. It's a guy like Kepler, right? At times he'll get hot and hit, and it's great to watch. But then he'll go cold, and he'll also, and this is what I don't get to, you guys, like a guy like Kepler goes cold, and they just now continue to play him. And it's like, TK had ideas about things. And I'm not saying that Rocco doesn't, but I think because of the different era that we're in now, especially with the advanced metrics having such a big say in things. Right. I don't know that people are dealt with enough. I feel like there's a lot of, and this is in general too in sports, I feel like there's a lot of dealing with numbers and what should happen and not enough actual human communication to be like, this guy needs a kick in the butt, so here's what we're going to do, and we don't care what the spreadsheet says.
Right. Yeah. Well, we know that. We've talked about that before, about the analytics and all that kind of stuff. And I've said it before. I could go up to the plate. I don't care if your grandma's throwing or grandpa's throwing or my daughter's throwing a baseball at me. There was times where I wasn't going to hit it. I don't care what you did.
Yeah.
And the next week, I don't care if you were shooting the thing out of a cannon or Nolan Ryan was throwing every game against you. You were going to hit. You just get in those kind of streaks in baseball. It's a known fact that guys would just get hot. It's like, holy smokes, where'd this guy come from? I mean, you couldn't get him out, or every ball he hit was a line drive. And then the next week, he couldn't find his ass with both hands. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you couldn't figure it out. It gets mentally thing, but they don't do that anymore. They don't sit guys down. They throw the stuff in the computer and say, well, okay. For example, you're talking Max Kepler. Geez, Max Kepler hits this guy great. Well, Max Kepler right now was struggling, and he couldn't hit Grandma if she was out there throwing the ball.
Right.
So let's give him a break and put somebody else in there until he finds, something else clicks.
He had a good game the other night. The other night he had a really good game, so that was good.
Right. And then all they keep talking about is getting rid of him, getting rid of him. And the guy keeps going out there and playing his butt off and trying to, and I'm not, trying to say save Max Kepler. He has struggled this year, along with about 12 other guys on the team. But again, they wake up in the morning, you look at the paper, they're in first place. So it's good to be struggling and still in first place.
Well, I would also like to thank you because I just got a text message from a listener that said, it was really nice of Kent to mention those 4 players because 2 of them hated your guts, Tom.
Probably still do.
Probably still do.
At least they're consistently still hating
consistent. Judd, I should ask, what time do you need to be out by?
38. A couple minutes left.
A couple minutes left, okay.
You guys are on the clock.
You got to be on the clock, man. You got to stay on top of it because Judd's got like 85 different jobs.
It's like the pitch clock, Kent. I got to get back in that box, or it's a called strike.
Oh, God.
There we go.
There we go.
Some of us work for a living, Ken. Come on.
Thanks for that. Well, I did too. I still do.
I'm going to close out. I honestly, God, I might get on the phone and see if I can get Randy Bush and Al Newman to come in and do this show. I'll fly them in. It'll be perfect.
You definitely want me here in between you, right?
What's the answer? What do we need to do? What is it? I mean, even listeners listening, and what do we need to do? Do we need to get rid of a bunch of guys? Do we need to move people around? I'm glad I'm not in the front office and have to do stuff like that. It's hard to mess with. If my car's still running and the tires aren't flat and there's oil in there, I'm going to keep driving it until some more lights come on and I got to do something.
I think at the very least, Kent, and I don't know that they have the ability to actually make a playoff run. And keep in mind too, a playoff run is now multiple. You know, it used to be the American League championship, and then so it's become tougher now. But I think at the very least, before the trade deadline, they need to get a right-handed bat. They hopefully need to get Royce Lewis, who I like a lot, back, but that's an oblique, and obliques are really weird. And then I would get one more bullpen arm.
Okay. Yep.
That's what I would do.
And where do we go to get that? Where do we go to get that? Do we have to go to Walmart? Are they on the shelf? Or where are they?
Here's the problem. I'll leave you with this, Kent, because you're not going to like what I'm about to say, but it's just a fact, okay?
Why not? Yeah.
Their farm system, which a couple of years ago was pretty damn good, I think it was like top 10, is now ranked in the 20s because of the trades that they have made. And look, if the trades work, awesome, right?
Right.
The Tyler Mahle trade is going to be the Twins, as far as I can tell, Brock for Bruglio trade at this point, though, man, because those two kids that you sent to Cincinnati, the kid that just came up and homered a couple nights ago, and then Spencer Steer, they would either be great trade chips or they would be playing for you right now. And so my problem with the potential trades that I suggested is you don't have a lot left to offer.
Right.
That's the issue. And that Mahle trade is an unmitigated disaster because, I mean, he came here, pitched 3 or 4 games, 5 games, I don't know, and now is going to walk as a free agent off of Tommy John. So, unfortunately, I don't know that there is a great solution, but I think at least a bullpen arm and a right-handed bat would probably help you out if you can do it.
Right, and get the other guys to start swinging the bat. We these guys improve, can hit. I mean, there's, Carlos Correa is not a 200 hitter. It's that simple.
Yeah, no question.
I don't think $500 is a 200 hitter either. But yeah, maybe they catch fire here and go crazy in the playoffs, and we get to drive around downtown Minneapolis and St. Paul in the parades. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. But like I said, I think if they get a little meaner, have some more fun, and get something going with the bat and start moving guys over, getting them, guys on base, moving them over. I don't care how you get them over, get them in. That's scoring a run is tough for them right now, and they're going to manufacture a run somehow.
There you go. I'll let you guys go with this one, Judd. You ready?
Yep.
Just got another text message. Hey, don't forget, I hated you too. Signed Tom Brunansky.
There you go.
Hold on. Wait. This guy hated you?
Oh, God, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Tom was not
There's
a
his
big
bobblehead, the Brunansky one.
Bruno. All right, boys. Well, thank you very much. I agree, Kent. They're in first place, and I love that.
I'll be there cheering them on against the Sox tonight. So
works for
go
me.
Twins.
You gonna go to Hrbek?
You're there,
for a little
Hrbek.
Sammy?
Thank you. Thanks, guys. See you, Kent.
All right.
Thanks,
Good.
fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, Kent Hrbek Sports on the Tom Barnard Morning Show is presented once again by Killebrew Old Fashioned Root Beer and Cream Soda. Begin your next memory at your favorite grocery or convenience store today. People probably don't know this, but back in 1987, and by 91 it was almost over, but boy, there were guys in that team that just hated me because I would go after them pretty hard.
Yeah.
And nobody had ever done that in Minnesota before. I mean, it was always ass-kissing of everybody. And I'm like, that guy sucks. Get rid of him.
I'd have to say, that was my favorite Kent Hrbek report ever.
I know. It's phenomenal.
He was like, give us answers then, Judd. What do we do?
I love
and
it.
Judd was like, Judd had him. I was like, this is enthralling. Like,
Is he disconnected now?
yeah, he's gone. That's
Okay,
why I
good,
was able
'cause
to give him a compliment.
I love that guy.
He
Hrbek.
was-
I mean, Judd's a great guy, too. Don't get me wrong. But Hrbek's one of my favorite people in the world.
He sure knows how to, like, turn the tables, because we will talk crap about the Twins, and then he goes, we're in first, what do you want? And we're all like,
I
mean,
know. Well, the guy knew what he was doing.
I mean, that was a great report.
And he still is going to hang that over my head the rest of my. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Now things are going great. I did this, did that, and did this. Oh yeah, well I hit a grand slam in the World Series.
Right.
Great. Thanks, Kent.
Thank you.
Must be
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I got one of those in my family too. Every time I bring up an
Oh,
accomplishment.
I know you do.
Yep.
Can you swim?
Yeah, I'm sorry. How many gold medals do you have, Brittany? Katie, I have 0. So no,
Katie Ledecky
Yeah.
is it your first cousin?
my first cousin.
I thought so. Yeah.
Like it's some people get all the talent.
And then they're my relatives.
Yeah, we're left with the others.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably true. All right, we only got a couple of minutes. Any other sports things you want to get to before we move on to the next thing?
I don't know. I guess Tim was going to bring it up. I know we've talked a lot about it. Are you going to make the commitment to watch quarterback this weekend?
Is it 8 hours though?
No, but I mean, every episode is anywhere between like 37 and 50 minutes. So there's some of them are a little bit shorter,
do
but
that.
yeah, but it's not. It moves fast. For 8 episodes, it moves fast.
What channel is it on?
Netflix.
Oh, it is on Netflix.
Commit to a half
I
of
still
an
call it a
episode.
channel, even though it's a streaming deal. I
Yeah.
still call it a channel.
Sure.
That's
Commit
all right.
to one half of an episode. The first half, and I bet you'll finish the first one because I did the same thing.
What is the first one? I mean, what do they talk about?
They talk about Kirk Cousins. They talk about Mahomes. They kind of set up, but they also kind of give you an insight in their lives. And I'm hooked. You know me. I could take or leave football. I don't care.
I know, I understand. Yeah.
But like they do a great job of making you interested in these people.
Yeah, I mean, I could. Yeah, matter of fact, I announced to my 2 sidekicks on the show today that for the first time in about a month, I get to go home right after the family podcast. And I have nothing to do all afternoon. I will watch 1 or 2 of those today.
Should I text Catherine to make it happen for sure?
No, because she's not going to want to watch.
Oh, she won't?
I don't think so.
She might. But either way.
Catherine's not a huge. I mean, she likes going to baseball games and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
She's not a sports fan.
I don't want to watch any football. Like once in a
Well, there
while,
you
I
go,
get into
yeah.
things, but I do like this. Golf to me, no, thank you. But now I'm like very into golf because of the way Netflix did these. It's the same people who did
Full Swing,
and Topspin.
So an amateur is leading the British Open?
I think. Didn't they finish it?
No, it finishes on Sunday.
Sunday,
doesn't it?
yeah. I
For
usually.
females or males.
I usually don't keep up, and I usually don't look until like Saturday afternoon,
Oh, you
and
don't?
then
Okay.
watch on Sunday. Yeah, because those first couple of rounds, it's like some of these guys that they're showing, they're not even going to make the cut anyways. So
Yeah, I mean, literally, I think we could look it up, but I'm pretty sure an amateur is leading the British Open after the first round.
Oh yeah, I got to talk
That's
to you too.
impressive.
We got the 3M Open coming up here.
Yeah, what about it?
You want to go?
Not really.
All right, can I go?
Yeah, of course you can go. Why, no. I'm telling
Somebody-
you where you can go.
Somebody reached out saying, "Hey, if Tom wants to go, can I throw in like he doesn't want to go, but I want to go."
I don't know. I did go to the 3M a couple of times, and it is a lot. Maybe I will go because it's a lot
I
of
think
fun.
you'd love to go, and I would absolutely get you in contact with this.
Do I get to walk along with Tim Herron and everybody think I'm his dad?
I mean, I'm going to say yes because I have
never
no,
forget that.
I have no skin in the game. Of course, you get to go do that.
Honest to God. Oh, you must be so proud of your son. My son, he's like 5 years younger than me.
Well, you could say yes, I am, and just talk
pain
about
in the
Andy.
ass. That's true. Well, yes, I'm very proud of Andy. You're absolutely right about that. We should probably take a break here, come right back, because Timmy Lammers is going to come on with some Hollywood bullshit. I don't know what it is. But,
Perfect.
I'll commit to watching at least 2 episodes a quarter.
sure. And if anything, if you get bored with like the first episode, watch episode. I think it's 4 or 5, where
Okay.
they show the game that the Vikings come back in the biggest comeback in NFL history.
Oh, yeah.
Because for that entire episode and part of the next episode, it's after Kirk Cousins hurts his ribs. And every time he goes to the ground, that's all you hear is him going, ah, ah. And it's every play for every. I mean, that's all they do is just show him in agony for like an episode and a half.
If that's me, I'm not coming to work. I'm sorry.
You don't work anyway.
Exactly, and I could literally
Sit around on your ass doing nothing? That's not really work.
I could literally do this job with a broken rib, and I still wouldn't show
Here,
up.
come on over here, Allison.
We'll prove it.
I'll break one of her ribs
Just
right
to
now.
prove it.
We'll be right back. Timmy Lammers will join us right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
It's time to beat the heat. This is Tom from my friends at Miller Marine and Power Lodge, giving you the keys to a cool lake breeze. With clearance pricing on 2023 luxury pontoons, fishing boats, and more, our dog days of summer won't last, and neither will their inventory. So do both of us a favor and go from floor to shore today with iconic Bennington pontoons and tri-toon packages at doorbuster pricing at Miller Marine in St. Cloud and all Power Lodge locations. Get your first cruise in by sunset. But don't wait on this limited time special. Power Lodge offers competitive financing with no money down. By the way, if you need delivery to your dock, their team of experts has you covered. Discover what thousands of our Minnesota neighbors have and explore our lakes and rivers in your own boat at Elite Savings. I said Elite Savings, darn it. Launch into adventure today at Miller Marine and Power Lodge. Just head to millermarine.com and powerlodge.com to see for yourself. Financing is available on approved credit. Freight and prep are not included in packages.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust, who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you. Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Hi, this is Tom Barnard. My friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales at their Albertville location just off Interstate 94 would like to extend a special offer going on now through the end of July. It's for all our Tom Barnard Morning Show listeners. When you visit their Albertville location, mention that you heard me, Tommy B. I'll tell you about this July-only savings opportunity on travel trailers and pickup campers. Now, you must be a qualified buyer, but here's the really good news. Receive up to $5,000 off the advertised price on all their new in-stock inventory. As always, terms and conditions do apply. Brands include Rockwood by Forest River, Arctic Fox by Northwood Manufacturing, Cirrus by New Camp, and more. Now is a real good time to buy and take your passion on the road with Niemeyer Trailer Sales. You can't just sit around. See my guys and gals at Niemeyer's in Albertville or peruse their current inventory at Niemeyers.com. That's Niemeyers.com. Niemeyers.com. The Up to the $5,000 off sales event ends July 31st. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Lammers brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant, bringing you Timmy.
In honor of Kirk Cousins, I'm just going to go,
it's painful.
Now, Brittany says she's not going to show up to work if she feels like that. If you're getting paid, what is it, $35 million a year? Maybe you will show up to work.
You'd be surprised, but I wouldn't show up for that.
It's true. It's a fact. There's no question.
Well, the big question is, Brittany, are you going to show up to the Barbie movie?
Going tonight.
See, it's going to be a huge movie. You know, everybody says, oh, the big showdown between Oppenheimer and Barbie. Yeah, it's going to bring people to the theaters in two totally different audiences. Mm-hmm. Barbie is under 2 hours. Oppenheimer, Tommy, is 3.
Can't do it. I just can't do it.
You have to watch it at home. But, you know, and Barbie's PG-13, which surprised me. I thought it might be a PG. And Oppenheimer is R. So, you know, you less screen times for Oppenheimer. You know, obviously the R rating is going to cut out some of the potential audience. So Barbie's going to dominate. Barbie's going to stomp everything this weekend. I know everybody is really hyped for it. I'll talk about that first. I don't know, Brittany, what you're expecting out of this, but this movie wasn't exactly what I thought it would be.
Okay. What was your expectations?
Well, okay, so the setup obviously is we're introduced to Barbie when she's invented in 1959. She's this idyllic, you know, she embodies the guise of what should be the basic role of society for a female in 1959, right? I mean, and obviously they threw away those stereotypes and brought Barbie into a modern setting as the years went on and on and on and on. And that's kind of how the movie is set up. Now, the thing is, the dolls are, you're seeing them in Barbie land, in this fantasy land, where they are advanced, but since they're made of plastic and basically have nothing in their heads, they think like, everything is bliss, everything is fine. So Barbie goes out into the real world where she discovers what it's like to be truly human, and she discovers that despite the advances made in terms of the Barbie line being updated and more modernized, that might not always be the case in the real world. So all of a sudden you have director and writer Greta Gerwig making really sharp, pointed observations about, how women's rights, they're not quite there, even though, so what I'm thinking is, going into this film, this is going to be aimed at a broader audience. I thought maybe younger, because Barbie is still a big thing. Younger kids are going to go. This is not a young kid movie at all. This is not a kid movie at all. This is made for the people who grew up with Barbie. So that was what really surprised me, because not only do you have these pointed observations, which again are great points that they make, but that's just going to go over kids' heads. They just want to see Barbie and Ken be silly, and that's not always the case.
But is there enough razzle dazzle that like the kids would be entertained? Like, is there enough?
Sure. I mean, they throw that stuff in. They used to anyway, when they used to be hits. Unfortunately, not anymore. Pixar movies.
Yeah.
Animated movies often go down that route, but this is a PG-13, whereas most animated movies are PG.
Yeah.
So they're
That's
still
a good point.
Kid friendly. So obviously the filmmakers are going for something a little different here. So on top of the more sophisticated content, you also have a lot of innuendo going on. Okay.
Yeah.
There are things that, where I'm looking at my two daughters who love the film, by the way. They went with me to the film and they loved it. But it's like, did they just say that?
Yeah.
What did I think I just heard there? Because that's really suggestive stuff. So if you have a young daughter, I don't know if this is a good idea to bring her. Maybe go once and maybe you want to go again. This is made for the people who grew up with Barbie and have seen those stereotypes thrown out the window and have obviously lived a life and can relate to what's going on in this film. So yeah, it just, again, wasn't what I expected in terms of fun-loving. It's fun-loving, it's crazy, but it also has a lot of great points too.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm definitely going with a group of. We have one 16-year-old in our group.
Yeah, and I think that'll work for the 16-year-old.
Yeah, and then all of us.
My daughter is 18. I mean, it will definitely be relatable. I'm talking about the under.
Yeah.
The 8-9-year-olds, where I just think that, because Barbie, I mean, you think, oh, okay, it's Mattel, it's based on a toy, it's going to be a kids movie, and it's like that's not the case at all.
I think that if you aren't in that world, like I was in that world, I think you would assume that. But if you're in that world, like people who are really obsessed with Barbie are the 30 plus. I mean, because we are in the height, like there's a lot of competition for Barbie now. So it's not as big as it was when I was a kid, because now we have Bratz dolls, we have OMG dolls, we have, if you just want to go Sims, like there's so much competition. But back when I was a kiddo, if you wanted to dress things up, it was Barbie. So I do think this is probably, there's going to be hordes of 30-plus-year-olds going to this.
So, yeah. So, bottom line, it is very funny. It is, you got Ken, played by Ryan Gosling. Margot Robbie is terrific as Barbie, of course. But Ken is, he's basically a Barbie's accessory in Barbie land. But once he gets out to the real world and sees what it's like to be a dude, he comes back and he radicalizes Ken's existence in Barbie land and tries to take it over. So it's all very funny, but I will tell you at times it's just really bizarre.
Okay.
But the exterior is bright and sunny and very pink.
And so what's the rating, Tim?
I'm giving it 7 out of 10.
Wow.
My daughters will give it a higher rating, and rightfully so. I haven't lived their lives. You know, I didn't grow up with Barbie dolls. I didn't grow up with them fighting the stereotypes. You know, the message behind you know what Ruth Handler had to face as a woman executive when she started this in 1959. There are a lot of interesting things that go into this movie. Rhea Perlman plays Ruth Handler, by the way, and has some great lines in it. So, Officer Dave and Tom and Rudy, I take it you're not going to go to the Barbie movie?
Probably not.
I'm actually taking Tom. He doesn't know it yet. I'm going to kidnap him, commandeer him. We're going to see it today.
Tom said you had the afternoon open. Tom, you're going to the Barbie movie. So
does the
yeah,
movie,
7 out of 10. My daughters would give it more like a 9.
Does the movie get political?
You know, ideological maybe. I mean, political, yeah, in a sort of way.
I'm getting sick of it. I don't care about anybody's political opinion, left or right. Is it?
And I'm talking more of identity politics.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. Whatever.
So, but, you know, look, and I will say Greta Gerwig, who co-wrote and directed this, she co-wrote it with her husband. She's a quirky filmmaker. She's an independent filmmaker.
Yeah.
So things are she just approaches things much different. It's for a commercial film. So yeah. She did a film called Lady Bird.
Yes.
Which is really she's a great filmmaker.
That was a good movie.
Yeah. So okay. Also, Oppenheimer. Not saying this one's for the dudes. You know, my wife went to it. It's a long movie, like I say, 3 hours long. Historical drama. It kind of takes place in a couple different storylines are going on simultaneously. A lot of cutting back and forth. One, the events leading up to the creation of the atom bomb. And A. Robert Oppenheimer, played by Cillian Murphy, who's in a lot of Christopher Nolan films. He plays Oppenheimer. So you see the events that led to the creation of this. And then he is being interrogated suddenly behind closed doors by a government body that is trying to discredit him, because after he saw the horrors of what the atomic bomb could do, he kind of sat back and say, oh my God, what have I done? And so he dialed it back on the dangers of nuclear weaponry when the Cold War started, and the politicians that gave him the money and the ability to create this bomb in the first place were none too happy about that. So they were trying to discredit him. So it's kind of like the rise of a hero and a fall, because the politicians, you know, they wanted to take away his security clearance, and it's just some fascinating history that goes on here. Filmmaking, it's very ambitious. It's very, very complex. You have to pay attention. Mm-hmm. It's not one straight story about Oppenheimer and what happened. It's like what happened afterwards. It's what leading the events leading up to it, and what happened after interspersed the whole movie. It's like they're cutting back and forth constantly. So again, very, very complex. That's my warning. But I still give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, it makes me want to go learn more about it after seeing it.
Is it historically factual, or is it just all dramatized?
No, I think, Dave, honestly, Christopher Nolan is such of a perfectionist that he's not going to fudge with the facts. Okay. And he's not trying to point this is what's great about him. He's always been sort of apolitical, since we were talking about politics earlier.
Right.
He doesn't do that. Okay. He presents both sides. And when I'm talking about the politicians, he's pointing fingers at both parties.
Okay.
Good.
And their behavior and their attitude toward Oppenheimer after he did this thing for them. I mean, he helped America win the war, and just because he wasn't on their side, because he was fearing how nuclear weaponry would get out of hand once the Cold War started.
Right.
He dialed it back, and people like Harry Truman were not happy with this. Louis Strauss, one of the politicians heavily involved during the Manhattan Project time, he was Republican, not happy with the way Oppenheimer went about things. So he was being attacked from both sides. So, you know, again, Nolan isn't trying to play up one side or the other as evil. I mean, they all were going after him. So there's no political leanings one way or the other.
Okay.
All right, Timmy, another barn burner of a report.
You know, it's so weird because you try to boil down. This is a really busy week with both these movies, but people they're anticipating both. And it's going to be big business at the movie theater this weekend.
Mo, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, Timmy Lammers, sponsored by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers, Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. Timmy, we'll talk to you next week.
Here, have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks
Bye,
a lot.
Tim.
See you, Tim.
Everybody, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you all on Monday.